Father, we come before you with hearts filled of content, gratitude for your deeds, even the blessings that aren't obvious. We give you thanks right now for grant us in our hearts to ease our pains and to calm our storms wherever we go. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Brothers and sisters, we are here. And Samuel. We're going to start chapter 14, the recall of Absalom. Just a disclaimer. Oh, we already have somebody here. That's Metro. Yeah. God bless you, Metro, for joining. Just going to leave out this disclaimer for those who come in. All right, I'm going to get started. So, this is chapter 14, the recall of Absalom. Now Joab, the son of Zeruiah, however you pronounce that, perceived that the king's heart was toward Absalom. And Joab sent to Tekoa, and fetched thence a wise woman, and said unto her, I pray thee, feign thyself to be a mourner, and put on now mourning apparel, and anoint not thyself with oil, but be as a woman that had a long time mourned for the dead. And come to the king, and speak on this manner unto him. So Joab put the words in her mouth. And when the woman of Tekoa spake to the king, she fell on her face to the ground, and did obeisance, and said, Help, O king! And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, I am indeed a widow woman, and mine husband is dead. And thy handmaid had two sons, and they two strove together in the field, and there was none to part them. But the one smote the other and slew him. And behold, the whole family is risen against thine handmaid. And they said, Deliver him that smote his brother, that we may kill them, or kill him, for the life of his brother whom he slew, and we will destroy the hair also. Um, And so they shall quench my coal which is left, and shall not leave to my husband neither name nor remainder upon the earth. And the king said unto the woman, Go to thine house, and I will give charge concerning thee. And the woman of Tekoa said unto the king, My lord, O king, the iniquity be on me, and on my father's house, and the king and his throne be guiltless. And the king said, Whosoever saith aught unto thee, bring him to me, and he shall not touch thee any more. Said she, I pray thee, let the king remember the Lord thy God, that thou wouldest not suffer the revengers of blood to destroy any more, lest they destroy my son. And he said, As the Lord liveth, there shall not one hair of my son fall to the earth. Then the woman said, Let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak one word unto my lord the king. And he said, Say on. And the woman said, Wherefore then hast thou thought such a thing against the people of God? For the king doth speak this thing as one which is faulty, in that the king doth not fetch home again his banished. For we must needs die, and are as water spilt on the ground, which cannot be gathered up again, Neither doth God respect any person, yet doth he devise means that his banished be not expelled from him. Now therefore, that I am come to speak of this thing unto my lord the king. It is because the people have made me afraid, and thy handmaid said, I will now speak unto the king. It may be that the king will perform the request of his handmaid. For the king will hear to deliver his handmaid out of the hand of the man that would destroy me and my son together out of the inheritance of God. Then thine handmaid said, the word of my lord the king shall now be comfortable. For as an angel of God, so is my lord the king to discern good and bad. Therefore the Lord thy God will be with thee. And the king answered and said unto the woman, hide not from me, I pray thee, the thing that I shall ask thee. And the woman said, let my lord the king now speak. And the king said, is not the hand of Joab with thee in all this? And the woman answered and said, as thy soul liveth, my lord the king, none can turn to the right hand or to the left from aught that my lord the king hath spoken. For thy servant Joab, he bade me, and he put all these words in the mouth of thine handmaid. To fetch about this form of speech hath thy servant Joab done this thing, and my lord is wise, according to the wisdom of an angel of God, to know all things that are in the earth. David's half-hearted forgiveness. And the king said unto Joab, behold now, I have done this thing. Go therefore, bring the young man Absalom again. And Joab fell to the ground on his face and bowed himself, and thanked the king and Joab. Today thy servant knoweth that I have found grace in thy sight, my lord, O king, and that the king hath fulfilled the request of his servant. So Joab arose and went to Geshur and brought Absalom to Jerusalem. And the king said, let him turn to his own house, and let him not see my face. So Absalom returned to his own house and saw not the king's face. David forgives Absalom. But in all Israel there was none to be so much praised as Absalom for his beauty. From the sole of his foot even to the crown of his head, there was no blemish in him. And when he bald his head, it was at every year's end that he bald it, because hair was uh, heavy on him. Therefore he bald it. He weighed the hair of his head at 200 shekels after the king's height. And unto Absalom there were born 3 sons, and one daughter, whose name was Tamar. She was a woman of a fair countenance. So Absalom dwelt 2 full years in Jerusalem and saw not the king's face. Therefore Absalom sent for Jacob to have sent him to the king, but he would not come to him. And when he sent again the second time, he would not come. Therefore he said unto his servants, see, Joab's field is near me, and he hath barley there. Go and set it on fire. And Absalom's servants set the field on fire. Therefore, then Joab arose and came to Absalom unto his house, and said unto him, wherefore have thy servants set my field on fire? And Absalom answered Joab, behold, I sent unto thee, saying, come hither, that I may send thee to the king to say, wherefore am I come from Geshur? It had been good for me, to have been there still. Now therefore let me see the king's face, and if there be any iniquity in me, let him kill me. So Joab came to the king and told him. And when he had called for Absalom, he came to the king and bowed himself on his face to the ground before the king. And the king kissed Absalom. Chapter 15 is up next. Let's say hello to everyone. Um, Metro, Remy, Steven, Gator, Gatorade dehydration. Gatorade dehydration and Giants fifth fan 56, Linda. God bless all of y'all. In case y'all didn't know, I waved at y'all if I saw your comment. Of course, I also had to focus on the Bible, but I noticed y'all's messages. What did you think of hockey? It was a bit of a nail biter because I didn't want Adam to miss out on that 895th goal on the for Alexander Ovechkin. Remy, hi to you. God bless you. Stephen, I'm reading chapter or the second book of Samuel. That would be I just finished chapter 14, and this is chapter 15 up next. Hydration for natives. God bless you, Gatorade dehydration. And Giants fan 56, Linda, stop by to hit the like button. Have a good stream. Thank you. Go in peace and seek the love of the Lord. All right, folks, let's move on. First, let's see how much we've got left. Um, we'll read chapter 16 as well. So this is chapter 15. Again, if you comment on here, I'll wave at you. If you say hello, I won't be able to, well, I'll have to, keep on reading, but, I will make sure to wave at you if you say hello. Okay? Sounds good? Let's keep on going. Chapter 15. Absalom steals the love of the 10 tribes. And it came to pass after this that Absalom prepared him chariots and horses and 50 men to run before him. And Absalom rose up early and stood beside the way of the gate. And it was so that when any man that had a controversy came to the king for judgment, then Absalom called unto him and said, of what city art thou? And he said, thy servant is of one of the tribes of Israel. And Absalom said unto him, see, thy matters are good and right, but there is no man deputed of the king, or deputed of the king to hear thee. Absalom said, moreover, oh, that I were made judge of the land, that every man which hath any suit or cause might come unto me, and I would do him justice. And it was so that when any man came nigh to him to do him obeisance, he put forth his hand and took him and kissed him. And on this manner did Absalom to all Israel came to the king for judgment. So Absalom stole the hearts of the men of Israel. Development of Absalom's rebellion. And it came to pass after 40 years that Absalom said unto the king, I pray thee, let me go and pay my vow, which I have vowed unto the Lord in Hebron. For thy servant vowed a vow while I abode at Geshur in Syria, saying, if the Lord shall bring me again indeed to Jerusalem, then I will serve the Lord. And the king said unto him, go in peace. So he arose and went to Hebron. But Absalom sent spies throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, as soon as ye hear the sound of the trumpet, then ye shall say, Absalom reigneth in Hebron. And with Absalom went 200 men out of Jerusalem that were called, and they went in their simplicity, and they knew not anything. And Absalom sent for Ahithophel the Gilonite, David's counselor, from his city, even from Gilo, while he offered sacrifices. And a conspiracy was strong, for the people increased continually with Absalom. Flight of David from Jerusalem. There came a messenger to David saying, the hearts of the men of Israel are after Absalom. And David said unto all his servants that were with him at Jerusalem, arise and let us flee, for we shall not else escape from Absalom. Make speed to depart, lest he overtake us suddenly, and bring evil upon us, and smite the city with the edge of the sword. And the king's servant said unto the king, behold, thy servants are ready to do whatsoever my lord the king shall appoint. And the king went forth, and all his household after him. And the king left 10 women, which were concubines, to keep the house. And the king went forth, and all the people after him, and tarried in a place that was far off. And all his servants passed on beside him, and all the Harathites, and all the Pelethites, and all the Gittites, 600 men, which came from after him from Gath, passed on before the king. Then said the king to Ittai the Gittite, wherefore goest thou also with us? Return to thy place, and abide with the king, for thou art a stranger and also an exile. Whereas thou camest but yesterday, should I this day make thee go up and down with us? Say I go whither I may, return thou, and take back thy brethren, and mercy and truth be with thee. And Ittai answered the king, and said, as the Lord liveth, and as my lord the king liveth, surely in what place my lord the king shall be, whether in death or in life, even there also will my servant be. And David said to Ittai, go and pass over. And Ittai the Gittite passed over, and all his men, and all the ones that were with him. And all the country wept with a loud voice, and all the people passed over. The king also himself passed over the brook Kidron, and all the people passed over for the way of the wilderness. And lo, Zadok also, and all the Levites were with him, bearing the ark of the covenant of God. And they set down the ark of God, and Abiathar went up, until all the people had done passing out of the city. And the king said unto Zadok, carry back the ark of God into the city. If I shall find favor in the eyes of the Lord, he will bring me again and show me both it and his habitation. And bring, but if he thus say, I have no delight in thee, behold, here am I. Let him do to me as seemeth good unto him. The king said also unto Zadok that the priest, art thou not the seer? Return into the city in peace, and your 2 sons with you, Ahimaaz thy son, and Jonathan the son of Abiathar. See, I will tarry in the plain of the wilderness until there come word from you to certify me. Zadok, therefore, and Abiathar carried the ark of God again to Jerusalem, and they tarried there. And David went up by the ascent of Mount Olivet, and wept as he went up, and had his head covered, and he went barefoot, and all the people that was with him covered every man his head, and they went up, weeping as they went up. And one told David, saying, Ahithophel is among the conspirators with Absalom. And David said, O Lord, I pray thee, turn the counsel of Ahithophel unto foolishness. And it came to pass that when David was come to the top of the mount, where he worshipped God, behold, Hushai the Archite came to meet him with his coat rent and earth upon his head. Unto whom David said, If thou passest on with me, then thou shalt be a burden unto me. But if thou return to the city, and say unto Absalom, I will be thy servant, O king, as I have been thy father's servant hitherto, so will I now be also be thy servant. Then mayest know thou for me. Sorry, then mayest thou for me defeat the counsel of Ahithophel. And hast thou there not with thee Zadok and Abiathar the priests? Therefore it shall be that what thing what thing soever thou shalt hear out of king's house, thou shalt tell it to Zadok and Abiathar the priests. Behold, they have there with them their two sons, Ahimaaz, Zadok's son, and Jonathan, Abiathar's son. And by them ye shall send unto me everything that ye can hear. So Hushai, David's friend, came into the city, and Absalom came into Jerusalem. All right, we have three new people who just joined: Losho, Christian, and Joath, or Joth, or whatever it is. Sorry. God bless all of y'all for joining. All right, quick sip of water, and let's get this last chapter rolling. Chapter 16. The false servant of Mephibosheth. And when David was a little past the top of the hill, behold, Ziba the servant of Mephibosheth met him with a couple of asses saddled, and upon them 200 loaves of bread, and 100 the bunches of raisins, and 100 of summer fruits, and a bottle of wine. And the king said unto Ziba, What meanest thou by these? And Ziba said, The asses be for the king's household to ride on, and the bread and summer fruit for the young men to eat, and the wine that such be as faint in the wilderness may drink. Such as be in the wilderness may drink. And the king said, And where is thy master's son? And Ziba said unto the king, Behold, he abideth at Jerusalem, for he said, Today shall the house of Israel restore me the kingdom of my father. Then said the king to Ziba, Behold, thine are all that pertained unto Mephibosheth. And Ziba said, I humbly beseech thee that I may find grace in thy sight, O Lord, my Lord, O King. Shimei curses David. And when King David came to Bahurim, behold, or Bahurim, behold, uh, thence came out of man of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shimei, the son of Gera. He came forth and cursed still as he came. And he cast stones at David and at all the servants of King David, and all the people and all the mighty men were on his right hand and on his left. And thus said Shimei when he cursed, come out, thou bloody man, and thou man of Belial. The Lord hath returned upon thee all the blood of the house of Saul, in whose stead thou hast reigned, and the Lord hath delivered the kingdom into the hand of Absalom thy son. And behold, thou art taken in thy mischief, because thou art a bloody man. And said Abishai, son of Zeruiah, unto the king, Why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Let me go over, I pray thee, and take off his head. And the king said, What have I to do with him? With to do with you, ye sons of Zeruiah? So let him curse, because the Lord hath said unto him, Curse David. Who shall then say, Wherefore hast thou done so? And David said to Abishai and to all his servants, Behold, my son, which came forth of my bowels, seeketh my life. How much more now may this Benjamin do it? Let him alone and let him curse, for the Lord hath bidden him. It may be that the Lord will look on mine affliction, and that the Lord will requite me good for his cursing this day. And as David and his men went by the way, Shimei went along the hillside over against him, and cursed as he went, and threw stones at him, and cast dust. And the king and all the people that were with him became weary, and refreshed themselves there. Absalom enters Jerusalem. And Absalom and all the people of Israel, the men of Israel, came to Jerusalem, and Ahithophel with him. And it came to pass when Hushai the Archite, David's friend, was coming to Absalom, and Hushai said unto Absalom, God save the king, God save the king. And Absalom said to Hushai, Is this thy kindness to thy friend? When wentest thou not with thy friend? And Hushai said unto Absalom, Nay, but whom the Lord and this people and all the men of Israel choose, his will I be, and with him will I abide. And again, whom should I serve? Should I not serve in the presence of his son? As I have served in thy father's presence, so will I be in thy presence. Then said Absalom to Ahithophel, Give counsel among you what we shall do. And Ahithophel said unto Absalom, Go in unto thy father's concubines, which he hath left to keep the house, and all Israel shall hear that thou art abhorred of thy father. So shall the hands of all that are with thee be strong. So they spread Absalom a tent upon the house at the top, and Absalom went in unto his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel. And a counsel of Ahithophel, which he counseled in those days, was as if a man had inquired of the oracle of God. So was all the counsel of Ahithophel, both with David and with Absalom. The word of the Lord. Praise to you, God. So tomorrow we will continue with chapter 17 of the second book of Samuel, which is what I was reading, PX Stan. Which, by the way, God bless you for joining. That was the Holy Bible, or that is part of the Holy Bible, I should say. So, yeah, folks, I'm free. I'm all ears now. Well, in this case, I'm all eyes. Yeah, we are ready. We are done. Let me just go take care of one small matter. It won't be any longer than a minute, folks. Okay, I'm back. How's it going? All right, Lord, you know what we have read. Let us maintain the same composure as King David had when he was cursed by Shimei. Let us not be tempted towards anger, because you are slow to anger. Let us instead be induced by love and grace and peace and all that you are, Lord. Help us all to obtain your true faith. In the name of Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen. Christian is doing well so far. That's nice to hear. Um, yeah, yeah. Let's pull up iCloud. A few days, I told you something tragic happened. Yeah, I remember. So, what exactly happened? If you would like to tell us. But either way, I'm sorry for this. My condolences. I'm not sure exactly what happened, at least yet, but I just, uh, I just hope that you're all right, my friend, and all your family and your friends are fine. So, while he types in his story, if he if he decides to, I'm just gonna look at Google Drive and make sure. Okay, so I'm at 13.98 in Google. Oh, you got a ABC 13 Eyewitness News link. Nope, this man was my client. I just finished his website a few minutes ago, then this happened. Oh, was it that website that you showed me that you asked me for my opinion on? All right, suspect accused of killing man in office was frustrated with his refugee status, prosecutors say. Houston, Texas, KTRK. Police believe that a man's fighting frustration to obtain refugee status led him to murder the man trying to help him in southwest Houston. Like the suspect, the victim was also from Afghanistan. He lost both of his legs working for the U.S. Military. In probable cause court overnight, the prosecutor said the victim, 34-year-old Abdul Niazi, was stabbed more than 20 times. The suspect has been identified as 37-year-old Matsiola Sahil. Investigators said he admitted to the brutal stabbing he was because he was upset with how long it was taking to get his refugee status approved. Sahil is charged with murder. He had an interpreter in court overnight, and his bond was set at $750,000. The attack happened inside Niazi's office at on Harwin Drive, where he ran a business helping fellow Afghan refugees with things like immigration work, paperwork, taxes, job applications, and more. Houston police were called to the office building at 7111 Harwin Drive just before 6 p.m. Wednesday after employees reportedly found Niazi's unresponsive after he had missed a meeting. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Uh, Sahil was later identified as the suspect in Niazi's death and was arrested in the 7400 block of Fondren Road without incident. Investigators say video shows Sahil going in and out of the office building, and while leaving, it appears he had blood on his clothes. Investigators also say Sahil it admitted to getting into an argument with the victim, going out to his car, getting a knife, and threatening the victim before stabbing him about 20 times all over his body. Friends told ABC 13 Niazi served as an interpreter for the U.S. military until a suicide bomber took both his legs. In 2014, the U.S. government relocated him as a refugee to Houston, where he thrived. In court overnight, it was revealed that investigators spoke to family members who say the suspect contacted them after the stabbing. They explained that this defendant, who they know is another refugee from Afghanistan, had called one of the cousins over the phone to apologize for hurting the victim. Prosecutors read in court. The Aussie leaves behind 5 children under 10 years and a wife. For news updates, follow Charlie and Zitty on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Copyright 2025 KTRK TV, all rights reserved. Okay, it was a different website. Okay. He was a family man with 5 children, a wife, and a great businessman. He did not deserve this. He lived in Mission Bend just like me. His website was finished, and we will look at that right now. And I was paid in full, but it just broke my heart to hear this. It hit too close to home because I knew him uh personally. Ay ay ay. Ay ay ay. Yeah, it's I'm very sorry to hear that. My prayers go out to his family, and may his soul be resting in peace. So let's see if we can pull up this website right now. Desktop. Of course, this is what we got. It's not gonna fit it, isn't it? Well, we could try this. Multi services in Southwest Houston. Stress free tax preparation. And this is also right around the corner from my office on Fondren. Yeah, I saw Fondren was mentioned in the article as well. Ay, ay, ay. Well, I'm hoping that it's tough, man. It's tough to see. This is why um, I really don't know what else to say other than may his soul be resting in peace. Hold on, let me take care of it. Sorry about that. Um, it was all due to a frustration. I told the guy at the office, and he was honest, and he honestly was very casual about it. I found it inappropriate. He said it had nothing to do with us, and we shouldn't have to worry about it. Well, that's a little insensitive. Yeah. He said because he's been there for so long and nothing's ever happened before. I found it quite disrespectful and rude on his behalf. Yeah, that's not very nice. Even a simple my condolences would suffice. Jeez. Whenever it involves a murder or a murder, nothing simple here. Like, what else can you say other than the damage has been done? There's no turning back, and can't really say anything else other than I hope that they may find the peace to carry on. Jess Moss, God bless you. How's it going? You know what? Uh, the fact that it's all because of frustration more makes me feel more I can't find the right word, but hopeless. He did not deserve this at all, and people are just crazy, and it makes me want to move to another planet. Oh man, all I can say is, may the Lord have mercy. But after a murder, it's going to be tough because for the murderer, even though, even if you're not charged with anything, you're still going to live with the pain and the guilt and the need to escape. All I can say is, may justice be done. That's all I can really say. I'm going to pin your comment here. I'll pin this link, and at the end, we will make a prayer. He was arrested and is in jail. Okay, well, there's let me know if you hear about his sentence, if he's imprisoned for X amount of years or lifetime, or if he gets capital punishment. All right, well. Oh, and we have another article. This one's from KHOU 11. And we have an answer. Let's see. Right here. A judge. Send. Okay. So he admitted to his role. He set a bond for $750,000. That's it? No 50-year sentence, no 100-year sentence, or nothing like that? Uh, Unless I missed something, but that's kind of surprising, I guess. Or maybe not surprising, but pretty demoralizing that I don't know. I don't know what to say. That life will never be replaced. That's Harris County for you. All they do is pander to criminals. Yikes. Please remember him and his family in prayer. It's very saddening. Yeah, that's right. Pin your comment right there, and I will. I will try to remember to pray for him at the end of this. It's why Houston crime is so frightening. If you thought Chicago took the cake, well, Houston has something to say about that. Well, Chicago, at least back in the day, Chicago, Michigan, and I'm not sure, maybe, I don't know. Houston is pretty awful, though. Property crimes, violent crimes, you name it. It's all there. All right. Chicago still beats Houston in crime, but I wouldn't go near the streets of Houston late at night. Yeah. While I was in Houston, in downtown, there's a CVS store, a pharmacy. There was a guy standing out there just watching all the people there. And my mom was extremely cautious of him and said, "You better watch out for this because he might try to steal from you." And that's what we did. We were alert. And thankfully, nothing happened to us that day, but I can't say the same for the rest of the people. Give me just 1 second. I'll be right back in about 30 seconds. We're back to this. And I remember I went to the CVS near Mission Bend, and a man came in upset over something and started telling the cashier he was going to stab him if he didn't give his money back. I was in line checking out, and another cashier took care of me. I told her, "Aren't you going to call the cops?" And she said, "No, because he can handle it." Yeah, very unsafe. The CVS in particular is in front of the dead West Oaks Mall where all the crazies hang out in the parking lot. Yeah, so if you're paying attention, everyone else, that's where you don't want to be. You don't want to be in front of dead West Oaks Mall. Well, it's not called Dead West Oaks Mall, but that's what I call it now. The Dead Mall. Let's just say that. Dead and creepy. Uh, it's literally at night a creepy pasta inside of a building. I went there recently and overheard a conversation between employees. He told another one that they will rob at gunpoint during closing time. Uh-oh. Yeah, I hope everybody there is safe because that is no joke. If you're wondering what I'm ripping up, it's just a bunch of rice paper. Um, can I say something? And I don't want to offend any other big city dweller or suburban dweller. Well, I'll tell you after I read this comment. What's strange is that CVS closed the other location nearby and it was in a much safer area just down the street. CVS kept the dangerous one open instead. Well, might be more costly to operate that CVS, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what they're thinking. And here's what I'm going to say. Sometimes living in a small town is better in certain regards. First of all, there's not too much traffic. Second of all, uh, uh, people won't be around you, and you'll feel much more comfortable to leisure as you would like. And third of all, it's much safer. So you get that peace of mind that you're not going to have to deal with most of the things that would happen in Chicago, Detroit, or Houston. I think Detroit is another unsafe hub. I'm not too sure, but I think it might be. Again, this is rice paper, which is edible. Paper made out of rice, and it easily dissolves in your mouth. Yeah, Detroit's considered horrible too. I know somebody, uh, and I think you know him now. Uh, his name is Jerry. I think he's from Detroit. Well, he's definitely from Michigan. I think he's from Detroit, but he moved across Michigan to Grand Rapids, I think. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I think I might have heard him say Detroit is awful. Go to Texas instead to Mike on Adam's the stream. Now, I would like to share something more positive that I know you're going to love. All right, let's hear it. Might be concerning your personal story that you've been talking about. Hmm. Hmm. just quickly, I'm going to check on Instagram. Yes, I'm nearly done revising it, and it's nearly 230 pages. But there's an entire chapter about all about visiting you in Port Lavaca for your birthday. Aw, thank you. Thank you. Speaking about my birthday, it's on April 10th, which is going to be Thursday of next week, so yeah, I appreciate you for that. I'm not too sure what's going to appear on that, but whatever it is, I I know it's going to be a delight. Going to give you a synopsis. Me and Chrissy decide we need to find ourselves now that she knows I like her. We end up embarking on endless adventures. Ah, okay. Kind of like me whenever I go in Victoria. Well, I used to drive in Victoria when I had my Toyota Tundra, but unfortunately it's gone, like I mentioned a few streams ago. But that's not without our high school friends who teased me about liking her, following us everywhere and refusing to accept that I'm no longer the awkward, nervous guy around Chrissy like back then. I tell you what, if they were still trying to get back at me for that, if I was like that, then I would just laugh at them and be like, oh, how you ignorant fools still hold on to that notion. When I have already been through that obstacle, they make fun of me the same way that they did in high school. They acknowledge I am not the same, but they refuse to stop teasing. They tease me the same way they did back in school. But assuming, uh, not assuming, knowing that you have grown in character from then, you probably handle it much differently. Me and Chrissy go on crazy adventures performing songs on stage and go to mysterious places. In the story, I actually get really feisty when Facey knows friends. Ah, see, there we go. Feisty. Instead of the awkward, timid, timidness, I guess that's what you would call it for back then. So, yeah. They actually believe I am replaced with a clone of myself because they remember I got super nervous around Chrissy, and they were like, he's up there with her now living his cowboy life, or this cowboy life. Wait, he got replaced with a clone, according to them, and so you're up there with her living a cowboy life. That would be the Reader's Digest version of what happened. No spoilers, just a general idea of what to expect. Okie dokie. Erich von Manstein. What's good, Ock? God bless you, Eric. How's it going? And God bless you, Mike. How's it going, my friend? How's everything? Everything, everything, my friend. I'm just eating some of this rice paper. I'm not joking, this is actual rice paper. I'm drinking Monster Energy laced with Adderall to continue the last run of my semester. Oh, Monster Energy with Adderall. I've heard of Adderall before. Let's see what it is. Adderall is a drug to treat ADHD and narcolepsy. Well, be careful. What I will say about this, Mike, be careful. Because you don't want to be like Adam, who drank like 10 Red Bulls or so. Maybe not even 10, maybe something like 5. He felt like he was gonna have a heart attack. It's a stimulant. Thank you, Eric. So not only will you will learn Christie's real name once you read the novel, but also you will get to meet those folks I knew in high school as well. Everyone in the novel is a real person. All people I actually knew in real life. So it's kind of like biographical fiction. Just one in the morning. Okay, that's better. You know me, even if I only sleep like 4 hours, I don't like to drink anything, not even coffee. Uh, you know, I drink coffee occasionally, but I don't like to drink it every day just because I don't want to harm my body. And apparently, the caffeine allows you to delay your tiredness, but apparently it does have some side effects. I don't know. I'm more of a tea person, which has benefits. The stories that take place in high school are based on true events, but the remainder of the story is fiction. You seem pretty chill. Good decision. Oh, thank you, Eric. I try to be as chill as possible. Even, I don't, I know that you haven't been here before, but there are some people who are like, you suck. Go home, loser. Well, they don't exactly say that, but something along those lines. And usually they're like intentionally being jerks. I can just only laugh at them, laugh for them just because they're trying to upset me without any success. I asked ChatGPT to explain why did I write this story, and it basically said it is my outlet to find closure since me and Chrissy never get together. Basically, a what if we got together story, or a what if we got together story. Yeah. So biographical fiction is what I would call it, and there will always be haters. Rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. Yeah, whenever you're loved for who you're not, there's always this sense that, oh my goodness, you don't even know who I am. I shouldn't be receiving this place. The praise, yeah, that kind of feeling. So yeah, it's better to be honest and true than to sell a lie. There was a girl named Sandy. Oh, you mean Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob? Ah, no, I'm just joking. Who's always the instigator. She would always ask me right in front of Chrissy, "Do you like her?" Oh, uh, trust me, I know that feeling. Sometimes they're gonna be like, uh, "Hey, she likes you," or they say to a girl, "He likes you," and they give me some crap for that. She made things so awkward, and she was a girl who kept egging me. That day when I got super nervous and sweaty when Chrissy showed up at lunch. So, one question, in real life, did you ever meet those people who kept teasing you about it? Like after that moment, after those moments in school? Like, have you ever met with them in real life after school? Or did you never see them again? I'm trying to make this kind of like a wafer. Yes, I knew every single one of them. They were all real and they were almost always there during those awkward Chrissy moments. Never saw them again after school. Wow. So you only saw Chrissy uh after you finished school. So what are the chances that you meet one of those girls who kept giving you heck after for that, and then you'll be like, "Hey, you remember Chrissy? Ha 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 ha," and you know what I mean. And then you're gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, do you remember that?" And I'm not sure what would be the reaction out of that, but oh boy, it's gonna be interesting. Out of everyone, the only person I saw again after high school was Chrissy. That's right. What is that loud gurgling sound? It's called Gypsy. When in doubt, just call it Gypsy. Gargling, gurgle, gurgle. It would be strange if I saw one of them again. I'm hoping they would have matured by then. You know, if I was one of those people that have been teased back then, like you did, and I met those people again, I'll just laugh it off and be like, haha, oh my goodness, that's so long ago. And then we could be friends with them. TP, by the way, God bless you for joining. The story is written from my perspective and viewpoint, but written in the third person. You'll get er, to learn what I went through that day and what I experienced. Yes, and I can't wait to see that. This Mallory said, "I'll follow her." She said, "Plus, it's full of real locations as well. Anything that takes place in Houston and Port Lavaca are real locations that actually exist." Oh, speaking of Port Lavaca, um, well, it didn't happen in Port Lavaca. It actually happened in Victoria. So last Thursday, not yesterday, but the Thursday of the week before, I was just waiting for my mother to pick me up from high school, college at Victoria College. I did my lab and I did my thing. Are you gargling or what is that sound? It's probably the mic. Uh, I own a $20 to $30 mic, and it's not the best. So I apologize if it sounds that way, or it might be just the software as well. I'm not too sure though. Victoria is also used briefly as a setting in one of the chapters as well. Awesome. Now, Victoria, I was in VC in the Health Science Center. I'm going to plug this baby in. So, I happened to be there, and while I was waiting, I saw this man, and it seemed like everyone there, in the Health Science Center, was saluting him. He was greeting people and saying, "How's it going?" And then, out of curiosity, I'm like, "Wait a second, could it be? Could it really be?" And well, before you know it, I met Gary Moses. Not just Gary Moses, Brother Gary Moses. Brother Gary is what they call him. Um, so, Brother Gary, I tell him, "Hey, I listen to you and pray at 7 on Kite because usually after 7 o'clock, he and Trey go over some events and some sports and some stuff on the radio. First, they cover community events, and then they cover some sports and some others, other news if they have anything." So I told him, "Hey, I listen to you." I'm like, "Oh boy." At that moment, I'm feeling this state of shock. Like, how do I explain it? Is coy the right word? Yeah, coy, I think, would be the right word. It's kind of like a feeling of shock, of nervousness, but in a good way. So I tell him, "Hey, Trey?" And he's right there. Uh, Brother Gary tells me, "Oh well, Trey is just outside. He's getting ready to come in because he's part of the Victoria Chamber of Commerce. He's an ambassador." Yeah, Coy is how was at that day when I ran into her at the mall. Yeah, I'd say I felt that way as well. So now he knows that he's got to bring Trey Johnson, the the man from Kite, the man who runs the Kite Studios, whenever he comes in from 6 to 8, or really 6 to before 9. And I'm like tingling inside, and Brother Gary is like greeting all these people and introducing him or introducing me to them. And then Frey Johnson is like, "Hey, hey, how's it going?" And then they say that I'm one of their younger listeners of Kite. And so, what else did they say? I was like, oh yeah, I told them this. The very first song when I first started to listen to Kite was Born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen. And I'm like, oh, that's a great song. Um, and oh my goodness, I've been fantasizing about this moment, about meeting both at the same time at some kind of Victoria Chamber of Commerce sponsored event. Really, they go for any big opening at any uh, any of these Victoria things. What they were doing is that they were actually opening the Tenna and Chris Thompson exhibit, gem and mineral exhibit. What is going on, Big Al? How's it going? God bless you and welcome in. How's the radio and the TV going? Yes. God had big plans for you guys to meet that day. Oh, absolutely. And I was telling my professor, Brian, and Calvin, oh, hey, that's Brother Gary right there. Yep, that's him. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I can't believe I just met him. Brother Gary, he's like, uh, I don't know what title he has. All I know is that he has a big aura to him. He's like the face of Victoria, the public figure, the the in-person influencer, if you will. But he doesn't do anything like he doesn't do TikTok dances or he doesn't do pranks or anything like that, like the modern TikTokers or YouTubers would. But oh my goodness. Everybody in Victoria knows who Brother Gary Moses is. I'm like, this ain't real. This ain't, or that's actually not what I said to myself. I said this. Uh, God must have really loved me so much so to have put both of them in my horizon that day. Pretty good. Still keeping my eyes on the AVC affiliation switch in Miami. All right, well, let me know how that goes. So, and Brother Gary, he tells me this. We're gonna shout you out on Kite. So be sure to tune in at 7 something. Well, he didn't say the time, but be listening there because we're gonna call you out on the radio. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be epic. Um, so on Friday, which was the day after that. Oh, by the way, the gem and mineral exhibit contains gemstones and minerals and rocks inside of it. It's pretty small, but it's really uh it's really comfy. And I love the darkness that's inside. I don't know why, but I love that it was made black. So on Friday, I'm tuning in to Kite. Unfortunately, the FM signal in Port Lavaca is not very good. In fact, it's practically non-existent. But, uh, which by the way, it's 500 watts. But the 1410 signal, which is AM, works. It's not perfect, but that's where I am able to tune in. And so I tune in, and surely enough, they shouted me out on the radio on Kites. So that's that. And I uploaded the entire conversation between Trey and Brother Gary on the members only page. Yeah, I uploaded it as a members only video in case you want to check that out. I just logged into radio site and it looks like the Braves will stay on 680 the fan in Atlanta through 2037. Oh, that's a big commitment. 2037. So they're committed to staying on the fan. Well, that's awesome for them. They have a home where they can turn to every time then. They got to worry about radio blackouts and stuff. Big out. I had no idea Berkshire Hathaway owned any TV stations at all. Didn't know Buffett was in the TV business. Yeah. Um, anyways, that story was so crazy to me. That's epic that you got a shout out. History in the making. He should write a novel about this. Oh man, I could write a novel about my dreams, about my experiences with music, and how I spent 2 hours in the bed crying back in June 6th, 2022. All of that. And while some things would be considered odd and others very boring, it's still going to make for one wild uh, thing. Can you provide me my. Yes, I can type it in here. Let's see if it shows up. I spent. Oh, Big Al's got something for us. WCNN in North Atlanta and translator W229AG in Atlanta is owned by Dickey Broadcasting. Yeah. But that's my email right there in case you want to send anything, any message, anything. I think we're back. Gee, I don't know what happened. It disconnected me for a while. We're back on the air. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Don't show it. Yeah, Christian. Berkshire Hathaway owns WPLG. They use the graphics package from their former owner, Graham Medium Group. Media Group. Yeah. Kind of like sports s- uh sports channel or sports center uh for the Houston Astros and the Rockets. They have the old graphics package from AT&T Sports Network. Uh, it's called now it's called Sports something Space City Home Network. I was way off. Yeah. So what I did is I spent some minutes clearing some of my old videos from here in order to make some space because Gmail wants to force you to pay this many this much for extra storage, and I ain't got time for that. Ooh, all right. Oh, oh, that's cute. That's real cute. Okay, hopefully it's not showing on here. But yeah, that's very cute. That's delightful. She looks like a happy person. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right. And Graham also owns KPRC Channel 2. That's Christian and I station. Uh, I don't have access on Dish Network to Victoria's station, so they use Houston as the market. So I own KPRC 2 as well. So, how's it going, Slave Baddie Queen? God bless you for joining. Uh, and he also owned KSAT in San Antonio. So yeah, both of those stations. What affiliate? Uh, KSAT is ABC. Space City Home Network was only revamped the name. It was owned by Warner Brothers Discovery, which was spun out from AT&T. They just continued to license the AT&T name. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Big Al. Graham, which used to be Post Newsweek. She's beautiful and cheery. That's Chrissy. Oh, you bet she's beautiful and cheery. Talked about her so much. I thought it was time for you to see what she looks like. Oh, well, it's such a shame that we don't get to see her anymore. Kind of gives you like that nostalgic vibe. Like, oh my goodness, how delightful were things back then compared to today? God bless you. Have a great day. You too, Slay. Go in peace and seek the love of the Lord. That was October 2009. Homecoming Friday. No way. I remember Homecoming Friday. Homecoming Friday 2018. Back in Calhoun High School. The football game. That was the first time I saw Maddie in uh, 7 months and 7 days. So yeah, those are great moments right there. Big Al says, Graham's flagship station is WDIV-TV, the NBC station in Detroit. They recently moved their headquarters from Chicago to Detroit, and that's why that's its flagship station. Now, when you get to the novel, you will see that this picture gets referenced a few times. I'll try to remember that. Bro, ChatGPT uh, said the exact same thing. I asked for its analysis, and it said I'm nostalgic about her. Yeah, I'm nostalgic about Madison as well, and about high school in general, and lots of things. So yeah, definitely. And I'll be nostalgic about Jack FM and Kite whenever I move away from them. When someone calls you something, you ignore it because no matter what, you're handsome the way you are. Thank you, Slay. Thank you. Yeah, some of the haters are gonna say, "You suck, you're blah blah blah." All I can do is just laugh at their ignorance. Well, not laugh at them exactly, but laugh alongside them in their ignorance. Um, are there any sports talk stations in Victoria? Um, well, there's KVNN, which is a news station, but as far as sports talk, um, let's see. All right, let's see here. Sports talk, sports talk, sports talk, sports talk. Well, I don't see anything about sport. I'll give you the news talk stations because they sometimes might talk about sports there. So there's KVNN on 98.1, which is news, general news. And then the AM stations, KVNN is also available on the AM, I think on 1340 AM. News Talk, okay. KTSA from San Antonio, KLVI from Beaumont, KLVJ, Lyndon B. Johnson from Austin, uh, and let's see, Tomball KSEV 700 AM. Let's see, KTRH, which is KTRK's sister station, 740 AM. Houston, of course. Sports Talk, KTKR on 760 AM from San Antonio. And business news is Kono, 860 AM. KLUP, that's of course San Antonio. Terrell Hills, I think, Texas, 9:30 AM News Talk. Uh, and KPRC 9:50 AM from Houston is just talk general. And I'll get to your comments in just a moment. Let me just read the rest of these things. Um, WOAI San Antonio. That's 1200 AM. And Corpus Christi, Texas has 12:30 AM. K6 KSIX. That's Corpus Christi. And then, of course, KVNN at 1340 in Victoria. So the only two true sports stations are KILT 610 AM in Houston and Victoria, or sorry, uh, well, there's three KTKR 760 AM in San Antonio, and sports in Corpus Christi K6 KSIX 1230 AM. All right, folks, let's get back to the comments. Chrissy has a smile and personality that can make brighten up anyone's day. I wish I still had um a a friend like her. Like, don't get me wrong, I do get a little uncomfortable depending on the situation with certain people. When I venture alone, I feel more liberty, but it would definitely be nice to be with somebody like her. It's like nobody should ever put you down. When people make fun of anyone, it always represents insecurities they have. Yeah, that's unfortunately true. They try to bring you down for something that they don't have. KTRH airs Astros and Rockets games. That's right. That's right, Big Al. And 6:50 a.m. KILT carries the Texans games, which by the way, Texans have a great defense. All right. I'll be right back. Continue talking to each other, folks, and share any other thoughts with me. I'll be back in about 30 seconds. Oh, let me read this comment first. When there's more people around, it feels awkward. I'm glad you told me that because now I know you will find my novel relatable. Yeah, you kind of get like a little claustrophobic around people that you don't want to be around, and that makes the experience uncomfortable, and you want to get out of there and be on your own. You have that luxury of, liberty, privacy, you name it. So yeah, I'll be right back. Let's see what Clyde has cooked up for me. Let's see. Okay, folks, I'm back on 97.5. Here in Phoenix, we hear the TAR AM 620, which runs the whole ESPN radio schedule. One thing to know about me is that I'm pretty uh, crummy. Well, I enjoy making like crummy abbreviation pronunciations. That's where "awk" was born because OK as a syllable spelled "awk" and KTAR will probably be called Katar, but I like to say Qatar. And their sister station is 98.7 KMBP, which has the local sports talk and is also affiliated with ESPN. Yeah, that's where you'd like to hear your NFL, your MLB, your NKGME 910, which is Fox Sports. Awesome. ESPN Radio and Fox Sports Radio. Next, CBS Sports Radio, if there's anything like that, and NBC Sports Radio. Maybe they don't have that at the moment, but that would be nice. Big Al, we have KFNZ in Houston, which is 97.5, currently owned by Dow Radio and formerly owned by Cumulus. Yep, that's right. hmm Let's travel all the way back to February 5th, I think. I think that's the date. 6th, actually, because the 5th, we actually, no, wait, that's the wrong year. It's 2023. It's supposed to be 2024. Come on. Come on now. Get it right. Okay, here we go. Okay, now you have to go back up because you went way too far in. 5, 6. Okay, here we go. Sweet talking woman. Oh, John, God bless you. That you not going to read that comment, but God bless you. I hope you're having a great day. I can tell that you're having a great day. and KQFN 1580, which runs the Infinity Sports Network, uh, which used to be CBS Sports Radio, and also 1060 Hey Gus, which is sports gambling. ESPN and Fox are distant cousins due to Rupert Murdoch owning Fox and being a large shareholder of Disney. That's right. All right, let's make sure that we get all this. What is this? Oh, I'm gonna delete this. There we go. I'm deleting stuff from my Google so we can have more space and stop crowding our stuff. Big Al, do you know if National Amusements holds any stake in Odyssey due to them spinning off from CBS years ago? Christian asks. All right, so here's what we'll do. We're going to groove here to our desktop and witness the fun and inanities of Jack FM. All right. Let's drink one last sip of water. And the last song we looked at was Tequila Sunrise and Hot Child in the City, which, by the way, this song plays on Kite pretty often. I'm not sure how often, but it plays pretty often. I don't think they do. Okay, so we'll be back in another 30 seconds. I promise. All right, we're back. And yeah, that's what I thought. The Redstones pointed out of the radio business and were trimming the fat from CBS Corporation. Yeah. So this is continuing from the fifth. This is the sixth, back in February of 2024. So we're gonna review these things. Let me just check this out. Okay, we're good. We're good, folks. Uh, so let's start off with some of these are familiar actually. So US 3 featuring Rashawn and Gerard Presencer with Andalou radio edit. And I'm gonna pull this chat to the side. Hold on. Here we go. Sorry about that. Odyssey still does maintain. Yeah, that's what I thought of it. Oh, Odyssey still does maintain some affiliations with CBS Sports, though. They were known as Infinity Broadcasting, and then there was CBS Radio, then Entercom, and now they're Odyssey. So, that's right. Infinity was their final name under Viacom, which became CBS Corporation in 2005 due to National Amusement splitting Viacom and CBS. Oh, you actually reminded me of something. Oh crap. The V of Doom. Does anybody recognize this? Or this? No, not this ad. And this. That's known as the V of Doom. The original Viacom became CBS Corporation in 2005 and re-merged with Viacom in 2019 and it became Viacom CBS, which is known as Paramount Global. Exactly. The V of Doom makes me like, yeah. I remember the V of Doom. I never found it scary. Yeah. This is probably the granddaddy of all logos. I used to be a part of the closing logo group, otherwise known as CLG. Back then, they had their own wiki on Wiki Foundry, but unfortunately, turmoil happened and then they migrated, and now they're known as Avid. But that logo right there, the V of Doom, is known as one of the scariest logos you'll ever see, and it's gained its reputation as that. Sadly, CBS Corporation plastered the CBS television distribution logo over most shows in their library with the V of Doom logo. It did retain the Paramount logos for the most part. Yeah. Um, Kind of like Sony Pictures Television, which plasters Columbia and TriStar Television. And Columbia TriStar Television uh, and Columbia Pictures Television. What else? TAT Communications Company, which is a logo from the late 70s or early 80s that was recently found 4 months ago, 5 months, it seems, I think. That was known as the rarest logo ever, but it was found. The V of Doom is rare these days because CBS decided to replace it with theirs after they spun off of a new Viacom. That's right. CBS television distribution, um, well, uh, at least that one looks beautiful. But the sad thing is that it has to plaster literally everything. Well, not everything per se, but at least that's what it seems. They plaster the pinball logo from 71 and the V of Steel from 1986 and Wigga Wigga. That's what it's called. That's their logo from 1990. So National Amusements wanted both of them to remain separate, but yeah, yeah, uh, it's not the same anymore. Regardless of what happens, it's no longer the same. It even has some kind of different vibrato to it, at least from what it seems. Tom Brenneman will soon become the morning host at 700 WLW in Cincinnati. So that's the guy who got fired for saying the F word on TV. Not the F word we're thinking of, but another bad F word that people may feel in that people think it's insensitive to mention. As there's a deep drive into left field by Castellanos. That'll be a home run. It'll be a 4-0 ball game. The Wiggle Wiggle can still be found on the Twilight Zone. CBS Soft did not plaster, but instead add the CBS television distribution logo right after it. CBS and Viacom were meant for each other. And they split up at least 3 times in their history, and even after they split, they were still together via national amusements. Right. Yeah, Tom Brenneman, Cincinnati native and sportscaster. I think the one who said the N word, they even said the N word with the hard R. That was the guy from the Athletics, the Oakland A's. Well, no, no longer the Oakland A's. They're just called the A's. That was the guy who said the N word live on air. Eventually, the A's would hire a female broadcaster who is now taking his place. I don't know if they went to a male broadcaster before this. I haven't researched it. Guy is dumber than a bag of hammers to use a racial slur live on air. Yeah, well, yeah, that's always why you have to be careful. You have to check that, even if you're going to say that, you're going to have to check your mics and be sure that no, it's not, it's muted, or it's not muted, or yes, it's muted, and we're just not saying it at all. Simple as that. His father is Hall of Famer Morty Brenneman, who called Reds games on WLW for 45 years until 2019. That's right. Anyways, carrying from what we left off last time, US3 featuring Rashawn and Gerard Presencer, Cantaloupe, Radio Edit, Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way, Nelly, Hot in Here. They play Hot in Here, but they play the version without uh, they play a clean version of it. That's what I understand. Enigma, Return to Innocence, Counting Crows, Accidentally in Love, John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, You're the One That I Want, REM, Everybody Hurts, Guns N' Roses, Live and Let Die, the Talking Heads, this one duplicates, live during wartime. This is the live version. They performed it live. Blondie, Heart of Glass. That's a longer version that they play there. Jason Mraz, The Remedy, Van Halen Dreams, Electric Light Orchestra, Hold On Tight. Mike and the Mechanics, All I Need is a Miracle. Night Ranger, Don't Tell Me You Need Me. White Town, Your Woman. Yeah, and by the way, I missed the one variant of the V of Doom that was reported to exist is one that flashed different colors, and that was rumored to appear on one episode of The Honeymooners, if I'm not mistaken. But unfortunately, it has not surfaced as of now. Anyways, Roy Orbison, you got it. My my dad used to look. My dad loves this artist. He loves to hear Only the Lonely and Pretty Woman. Elvis Presley, a little less conversation. This is a pretty old song with a this is a modern mix of it. The Doobie Brothers, China Grove, Elton John, Levon, Glenn Fry, The Heat Is On, which just played on Kite a few minutes ago. Santana, Evil Ways, Seagulls, I Can't Tell You Why. Meatloaf, I Do Anything for Love. Tracy Chapman, Give Me One Reason. Grand Funk Railroad, We're an American Band. REM, Man on the Moon. April Wine, this used to play on Kite. This plays on Kite often, just between you and me. Uh, Dream Academy, Life in a Northern Town. And also, this plays on Kite, and this one too, and this one we talked about. Uh, Heart of Glass on Kite. This one's on Kite pretty much every day. And yeah, uh, sounds like the Mandela effect, where people remember something that others do not. Yeah, indeed. It happens to me quite often with music and with people saying stuff. Yeah, that's a big Mandela effect. Bonnie Raitt did, or yeah, Raitt did a cover of You Got It in the 90s. Oh, really? All right. Well, Adele, Hello, Radio Edit. Coldplay, Adventure of a Lifetime, Radio Edit. Argent, Hold Your Head Up. Peter Gabriel, Big Time. Dire Straits, So Far Away. Cyndi Lauper, All Through the Night. Displays on Kites. Uh, Cardigans, Loveful. Madonna, Vogue, that plays on Kite. And Phil Collins, Against All Odds, on Kite. Pink, Who Knew? Eddie Money, Shaken. Rihanna, SOS. Toad the Wet Sprocket, All I Want. Jimmy Cliff, I Can See Clearly Now. For some reason, it feels familiar. I can see clearly now. Black Keys, Lonely Boy. Fleetwood Mac, You Make Lovin' Fun. They forgot the G of loving as it's spelled on the release. This plays on kind. Lady Gaga featuring Beyonce. Telephone. Sting, If I Ever Lose My Faith in You. There were a lot of claims that uh a lot of people remember a version of It's the Great Pumpkin. Charlie Brown, where the Great Pumpkin actually showed up in the middle of the night. Ah, Pumpkin. Okay. Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 with Lonely No More. No Doubt, Ex Girlfriend. Rolling Stones without the in the artist's name. Start Me Up. And then it's just Christmas songs. Because, or never mind then. It's not Bob Seger and Silver Bullet Band, The Little Drummer Boy. Rod Stewart, You're in My Heart. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. Okay. Green Day, Jaded. This is a pretty fast tempo song. One of the fastest tempos I've heard in a song, I think. Jimi Hendrix, Foxy Lady. Yellow Card, Ocean Avenue, Led Zeppelin, Ramble On. The Beatles, Obladi Oblada. Twisted Sister, Heavy Metal Christmas. Puff Daddy and Faith Evans featuring 112, I'll Be Missing You. Ohio Players, Love Roller Coaster. Extreme More Than Words. Psy, Gangnam Style, Main. Justin Timberlake, Mirrors. Post Malone, Circles. Actually, I'm gonna make one quick search. Mirrors. Just bear with me. Yeah, let's get the lyrics. I just want to see on Wikipedia. Just one quick thing. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Wait, you mean Twisted Sister made a Christmas song? Yeah. Heavy Metal Christmas. Right there. Right in the naked eye. KUPD only plays Brain Stew, but cut the jaded portion of the song. That's what Jack FM does too. They only play Brain Stew, but usually, or sometimes it's paired with Jaded Indeed. But in this case, it's only Beef Stew that play, or Brain Stew, sorry, that plays usually. Jaded almost never plays on Jack FM. All right. Post Malone Circles. I'm actually surprised this played ever on Jack FM. Paul McCartney and Wings, Maybe I'm a Bass. This, I think, I don't know if it's the live version or the studio recording version from, what was it, 1970? But, anyways, that's what appeared. The Doors, Love Her Madly. The Steve Miller Band, Threshold, which is the intro to Jet Airliner, which is what proceeds next. Bonnie Tyler, It's a Heartache. Dave Matthews Band, What Would You Say? Tina Turner, The Best. Brian Adams, It's Only Love. Leonard Skinner, Give Me Three Steps. These two songs actually played when Tina Turner died as a tribute. I heard WRIF in Detroit plays both Brain Stew and Jada together. Yeah. And I heard the live version of Maybe I'm Amazed earlier today on the spot. Yeah, that plays on Kite as well. You just have to catch it in the right time. Anyways, Give Me Three Steps. Junior, Senior, Move Your Feet. US Radio Edit. That's the song that became a sample for Nicki Minaj's Everybody. Benga Boys, We Like to Party. I used to own a Benga Boys CD when I was uh, back in 2007-ish, 8-ish, 9-ish. I'm not too sure. But memories indeed. Boom, 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 and we're going to eat pizza. And so many songs there. Vase City Rollers Saturday night. Uh, oh, hold on. Cody's Possum Kingdom. Cool and the Gang, Ladies Night, that plays on Kite. War, Cisco Kid. Frankie Valli with Breeze, that plays on Kite as well. The Kinks, Lola. Grand Funk Railroad, Some Kind of Wonderful, that's an occasional song on Kite. Boston, Don't Look Back. Elton John, Saturday Night Song Right for Fighting. It's KC and the Sunshine Band, Keep It Coming Love. That's on Kite as well. The Beatles, A Day in the Life. I actually haven't heard that one ever. What what year is that? A Day in the Life. And oh, that's the same album as Penny Lane, I think. Or maybe not. But roughly the same period as Penny Lane. Uh, I has been playing a lot of Beatles songs since 2024, but this is not one of them. The Doors, Touch Me, REO Speedwagon, Don't Let Him Go, which I actually love. Boston Smokin'. What else? Donnie, Iris, Leah. They've got the exclamation marks or they didn't support them. I don't want to hear that song though. Aerosmith Sweet Emotion, the original album version. Uh, Paul McCartney and Wings, Band on Run, YouTube, 1. Sublime, What I Got. This one is the acoustic version, which I forgot the name. Uh, oh well. Uh, Venga Boys, We Like to Party was the theme used for Six Flag commercials with the old dancing man. Nostalgia unlocked. That's sweet, long time nostalgia. Can you make a content aware scale? God bless you, Miracle A Al Machine. Uh, I don't know how a content aware scale works, so I couldn't tell you. Oh, I for now I know what it was called. This version of what I got was named in parentheses. It would say reprise, but this is an acoustic version that aired there. Anyways, Harvey Danger, Flagpole Sitta, Guns N' Roses, October Rain, and November Rain. Did I say October Rain? I meant to say November Rain. As for Flagpole Sitta, they have the top 40 mix of that usually plays on kites. Pet Shop Boys, West End Girls, a longer version of that song that plays in this case. Elton John, Crocodile Rock, an occasional kite staple. Buster Poindexter and his Banshees of Blue, Hot, Hot, Hot. Annie Lennox, Walking on Broken Glass. An Emotion Obsession, staple on kites. Jimi Hendrix, Fire. Supertramp, The Logical Song, a kite staple. Paul Simon, Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard. Talking Heads, live during wartime. The original studio recording. Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock, it takes two to get them to go right. Gary or Phil Collins in the air tonight. There's no difference between this one and the version that plays normally. It just happened to be this, but there's no sorry, there's no difference. Not even the drums are different here, oddly enough. Gary Newman, Cars, Coldplay, Viva la Vida, Siskiyou, or Cisco, or however you pronounce that. Song, mainstream radio edit, The Offspring Gone Away. This used to play a long time ago, but not anymore. Lauren Hill Do Wop, that thing, or whatever it was called. Republica, Ready to Go, single version. Bill Withers, Lovely Day. Aerosmith, Living on the Edge, the full version of that song. Usually we have a CHR mix, uh, number one edit, something, some kind of edits that we have there. Gap Band, You Dropped the Bomb on Me. That is occasionally on Kite. Shakira featuring Wyclef Jean, Hips Don't Lie. America, A Horse with No Name. That appears occasionally on Kite. And Alan Jackson featuring Jimmy Buffett. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I never thought I'd hear a country song on Jack FM, but there it is. And then Riot said, "Fred, I'm too sexy." I think that actually appeared on Kite requested. Actually, let me check that. Anyways, Justin Timberlake, Sexy Back, and TLC Creep. Sunny 99.1 always plays some kind of more remix version of In the Air Tonight. Well, Jack FM plays the versions where the drums only come in at the end chorus, the final chorus, which is extended. The the version that Kite has the drums playing throughout, synthesized drums. It's 5 o'clock somewhere is a song that's used in the novel. Wow. Well, there you go. We unlocked another song. I'm gonna go check if I'm Too Sexy played on Kites on my Shazam. Be right back. Okay, so it did not play on Kites, so I must be thinking of another song. Music is a huge theme in my novel. Many songs, especially songs from Kenny Chesney, who are used as part of the novel's soundtrack. So you'll hear all the pretty girls say, "You and tequila," and what else? Sit right down and have another beer in Mexico. Right. Blondie, Rapture, TLC Creep, in case I didn't mention it. Then Blondie Rapture. AWOL Nation Sale, that plays nowadays on Kite pretty commonly. Not as common as the other songs, but it's common. Not common in the grand scheme of things, but much more common than I ever thought it would be. Aerosmith, Love in an Elevator, which is the full version here. The Weekend, I Can't Feel My Face. Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, or Terrell, whatever it is, Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Presidents of the United States of America, uh, Rihanna, Don't Stop the Music, Radio Edit. I actually had that on a Mexican USB back then. Musical South or Youth, Past the Duchy, Pitbull, Fireball, OJ's Love Train, Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, Chicago's Saturday in the Park. Um, so Love Train and Saturday in the Park appear on Kite. Cure, Love Song, Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run, Rick Derringer, Rock and Roll, Hoochie Coo, and Paul Simon, You Can Call Me Al. Duran Duran, Girls on Film, a Kite staple, Joe Walsh, All Night Long, America's Sister, Golden Hair, that might have appeared on Kite. The Rolling Stones, Shattered, that might have appeared on Kite as well. Technotronic with Felly, Pump Up to Jam. Kate Bush, Running Up That Hill. David Lee Roth, California Girls, that's extremely rare on Kite. The Rolling Stones, She's a Rainbow. What else? Beer in Mexico, Bar at the End of the World, and No Shoes, No Shirt, No Problem are three of his songs with play a prominent role in the story. Right, all right, all right. Beer in Mexico. That's the one we coincided in. Anyways, Diana Ross, Coming out. Oddly enough, I don't hear anything of this on kites. We might just have to request it. Seals and Crofts, Summer Breeze. Eiffel 65, Blue. John C. Mellencamp, I Need a Lover. Stevie Wonder, Don't You Worry About a Thing. John C. Mellencamp ain't even done with the night. B-52's Lobster, that might have been requested on kite at one point. Information Society, What's on Your Mind? That's a song that plays on kite. Rusted Root, Send Me On My Way, edit. Bruno Mars, 24K Magic. Murray Head, One Night in Bangkok. That plays, that might have to be requested on kite, otherwise it doesn't play. I've never heard it on kite, but it has to be requested. Mackmore, Can't Hold Us. Bob Marley and the Wailers, Could You Be Loved? Again, duplicated. Hot chocolate, everyone's a winner. She bricked the flame. White, get a good look at this. Eiffel 65 Blue was once very common back in 2000s. I remember the mall played it sometimes. And then there's this version remixed recently by BB Rexa. I'm good. And that was at the White Family, and it made me feel toxic for some reason. Anyways, White Lion, Wait, Johnny Hates Jazz, Shattered Dreams, Don Henley, The End of the Innocents, uh, Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On. Okay, I need to request Shattered Dreams on Kite one day. Let's Get It On plays on Kite pretty commonly. George Clinton, Atomic Dog. Guess who? American Woman. Pat Benatar, Fire and Ice, Madonna, Open Your Heart on Kite. George Michael, Freedom 90. Panic at the Disco, High Hopes. Peter Gabriel, In Your Eyes. Norman Greenbaum, Spirit in the Sky. That's been added to the Kite list this year, so that plays on Kite. Cheap Trick, Dream Police. Cheap Trick if you want my love. Jefferson, Starship, Find Your Way Back. Black Eyed Peas, Meeting Halfway. Steve Miller Band, Space Cowboy. 38 Special Fantasy Girl, and Back Where You Belong. And ABC, that plays on kind. The Look of Love. Bruce Springsteen, I'm Going Down. Berlin, The Metro. Timbuk 3. The Future So Bright Eyed. Gotta Wear Shades. Dan Hartman, I Can Dream About You. That uh, might be requested on Kite at some point. Uh, Steam, Nana, Hey Hey, Kiss Him Goodbye. Psychedelic Furs, Love My Way. I think this was requested once on Kite. Billy Squire, Rock Me Tonight. Uh, George Thorogood, uh, and the Destroyers, I Drink Alone. This used to be played on Jack FM, but not anymore. I haven't seen that since. It feels like a fever dream. I forgot this song until just now. Anyways, 95.7, the Spot played Shattered Dreams ones back in 2018 or 19. I also remember hearing it on Walmart's in-store radio as well. Once that same year. Yeah, well, it played a couple of times on HEB's radio a few years back. So, yeah, pretty pleasant memories there. A pretty good song, calming song. Anyways, Big Country in a Big Country might have been requested on Kite at some point. Pointer Sisters, I'm so excited. This is common on Kite. Rod Stewart, They Think I'm Sexy. They spelled it right this time. Instead of do, they say da. That's how it's spelled on a release. And that song plays commonly on Kite. Foreigner, Double Vision. Might be requestable on Kite, but we'll have to see. This used to play on Jack FM pretty commonly when I first joined, but ever since it's gone. It's Grady Politi or Politi, I think. Perfect way. The Doobie Brothers taking it to the streets. Sniff in the tears, driver's seat. Duran Duran, the Wild Boys. I think this was requested on Kite once. Genesis Misunderstanding, an occasional Kite fixture. Erasure, Chains of Love, Blues Brothers, Soul Man, and Grateful Dead, Touch of Grey. Foreigner, Blue Morning, Blue Day. Can't believe it played on there. We got upcoming Rock and Roll All Night live. Let's see what HEB uses Mood Media as their music provider, which Walmart Radio basically streamed from. Oh yeah, that's right. No wonder. Anyways, David Bowie, Suffragette City, Kiss, Rock and Roll All Night, and as we saw just now, live version. Anyways, Phil Collins, Take Me Home. Fabulous Thunderbirds, Tough Enough, that was requested on Kite. Electric Light Orchestra, ELO, with Evil Woman. Van Halen, Best of Both Worlds. Fun, some nights. Another Kite special. Fix one thing leads to another. An Evil Woman plays on Kite and Take Me Home. Phil Collins, Take Me Home. I think I missed this one for some reason. This plays on Kite. Tough Enough is requestable. Evil Woman is a Kite song. Uh, Best of Both Worlds, nothing. Some nights, nothing. One thing leads to another, that's a Kite song right there. Anyways, the Beatles, Golden Slumbers. I thought it said Summers, but it's Slumbers. The Rolling Stones, She's So Cold. Bruce Springsteen, Pink Cadillac. Heart, Even It Up. The Rolling Stones, Can't You Hear Me Knocking? Peter Gabriel, Salisbury Hill. Genesis Abacab. This might have played at one point on Kite, but I haven't seen it since. The Police, Driven to Tears. Tesla Love Song. The Rolling Stones, Honky Tonk Woman. And The Police, Message in a Bottle. This is a Kite song. And as well as this one, Ready for the World, Oh Sheila. Then, let's see. We're almost done with this one, with this particular version. Aerosmith, The Other Side. Adam Sandler, The Thanksgiving Song. Well, go figure. Quiet Riot, Metal Health. Not mental health, but metal health. Bruce Springsteen, Glory Days. Lita Ford, Close My Eyes Forever. And that concludes that period from 12 o'clock a.m. in February 5th, 2024 to February 6th, 2024 at 5:02. That's it. The rest of this is regular. Party up. Photograph. Two princes. Kids on all right. Girls want to have fun. Stressed out. Thunderstruck. Always there. Lagrange. Guess we'll call it blues. That the way. Thunderstruck was requested successfully on Kite. Uh, well, back down. Three little birds. I alone. And oh, by the way, after that, I happen to act. No, never mind. Okay, I could have sworn that I want to know what love is played sometime after that. I might be wrong. Oh, there it is. I listened to that song on Jack FM, and it was delightful. Ready for the World is the spot song. Yep. Oh Sheila is a spot song. This was me back then when I was setting up my one of my first ever OBS setups. So that's that. Okay. I Want to Know What Love Is also an Eagles song, but I haven't heard it in ages. Oh, really? Let's go check and see what the Eagle is playing right now. Mm, on air. Well, let's put on Listen Live instead. Yes, why not? Recent tracks. Let's put in recently played. Oh well. Well, we can gather that Mama I'm Coming Home is playing right now. But I Want to Know What Love Is also plays. Ever since Urban One took it over. Oh, they got rid of it? Wow. Well, no wonder. Well, I guess we'll never know. I was at Cole's flea market one time and they had that song playing on the Eagle. I caught the last bit of it, so yeah. Happy memories as well. All right, we're going to cover April 22nd, I believe. It's not very long. It's only over half a day, but it's not too long. Anyways, it starts April 22nd, 2024 at 12 a.m. When they were owned by Cox, the old website had a full playlist. Yeah, that was very useful, but now it's gone. All right, U2 Desire, NGMT, Electric Feel, a Bling, which I assume is either one of the following for these blanks. It's either Stevie Nicks' Edge of 17. More than likely, it's probably Kansas City, or sorry, Kansas Carry On Wayward Son, the short version. Michael Jackson Thriller, Guns N' Roses November Rain, uh, Uncle Cracker featuring Dobie Gray, uh, Drift Away. One of those common songs. But it's hard to put my finger on it exactly without knowing what it was. Anyways, Lovely the Band, Broken. I haven't seen that in a while. John Waite Missing You, that's a kind of song. AC/DC Have a Drink on Me. Jimi Hendrix Purple Haze, Green Day She, I haven't heard that in a while. The Monkees, I'm a Believer. The original I'm a Believer, not that Smash Mouth cover later on. John C. Mellencamp, ROCK in the USA. Cheryl Crow, Everything is a Winning Road. Heart Alone, that Here's on Kites. Pete Townshend, or Townsend, I Love Open the Door. Haven't heard that in ages. It made some occasional appearances, though. Roy Orbison, Oh Pretty Woman, the common kite song. That's one of my dad's favorites. The Shirelles, Will You Love Me Tomorrow? Missy Misdemeanor Elliott, work it. Florence the Machine, shake it out, radio edit. Damn Yankees, damn Yankees. By the way, I should mention that they fixed it finally after almost an entire year. Scandal the Warrior. Queen, we will rock you. Just we will rock you. Pink, you in your hand, radio edit. Red Hot Chili Peppers around the world. Quarter Flash, a heart in my heart that plays on kites. Take the distance. I haven't heard that in a long time. Aerosmith, what it takes. Will Smith getting jiggy with it? Yes, the same guy who slapped. The Go Go's Vacation, a kite song. Aerosmith Ragdoll, the long version, which is also lower pitch than what plays on Jack FM, which is in a slightly higher pitch and under 3 minutes in length. Beastie Boys, Intergalactic, that's a good song. Whitney Houston, How Will I Know? That's a kite song. Ace of Base, All That She Wants. Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten. Fleetwood Mac, Little Lies. Creed with arms wide open. The ones with only the guitars, with no orchestra backdrop. George Michael, Faith, the full version with the organ. Eurythmics, Here Comes the Rain Again. Which, by the way, Faith appeared without the organ in the beginning, just like Jack of them. On Kites. Jason Mraz, I'm Yours. Phil Collins' Susudio, a kite song as well. Uh, Speaking of Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine is also featured in the novel as well. Again, would love to check that out. Let My Love Open the Door played on the Eagle just last week. Well, there you go. Here's something I haven't heard in a while. Susudio and then Salt and Pepper Show. Michael Jackson, Wanna Be Starting Something, Kite Song. Jesus Jones, Right Here, Right Now. Bobby Brown, My Prerogative, a kite song. And Jay Cowell's band, Freeze Frame, a kite song as well. Van Halen, Oh Pretty Woman, without because the formatting is pretty screwed. O is in parentheses, so that is excluded. Aerosmith, Crazy, the full version. Huey Lewis and the News, I Want a New Drug. That's a kite song as well as the Rolling Stones, Jumpin' Jack Flash, another kite song. Stereo's MCs Connected, edit. REM, Orange Crush, and Poison, Talk Dirty to Me. And Monterey Melt, which is my favorite Whataburger. Daryl Hall and John Oates, also known as Hall and Oates, Out of Touch, a kite song. Lou Bega, Mambo number 5. That's been requested twice on Kite, and I've seen it. Daz Band, Let It Whip. I think that might have been requested at one point on Kite when I made it appear there. Pearl Jam, Black, Genuine Pony, John C. Mellencamp, Pink Horses, Fleetwood Mac everywhere. This was popular, especially after the death of Christine McVie. Sadly, it hasn't appeared in ages on Jackets, and at least that's what it seems. James Addiction, been caught stealing. Huey Lewis in the news, Do You Believe in Love? A kite song. Sugar Ray When It's Over. Maroon 5, Animals. Mambo number 5 also takes me back to 2000. I remember hearing it quite a bit almost everywhere. Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised that I heard it on Kites. But then again, Kite can play quite a powerful selection of songs. Rest in peace, Christine McVie. Yeah, rest in peace. She was a happy soul. Anyways, Sugar Ray's When It's Over is also in a novel as well. I haven't heard that in ages. Like, seriously. Anyways, Maroon 5 Animals and U2 Desire. And again, another remaster of Desire, I think. Sinead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You. Uh, Aberclear, Father of Mine. Great White, Once Bitten, Twice Shy. Haven't heard that in ages. Heart, all I want to do is make love to you. One thing I'll say is that sometime they added support for commas on here. So yeah, they traded the apostrophes for commas. Lenny Kravitz, It Ain't Over Till It's Over. Notorious B.I.G. More Money, More Problems. Featuring Puff Daddy. Heart, What About Love? That's a Kite song. Okay. Kid Rock, Cowboy, Clean Edit. Stone Temple Pilots, Plush. The normal version instead of the Jack FM edit. Still, Pompeii. Whitesnake, is this love? A kite song. Eddie Brickle, What I Am, an occasional kite song. Katy Perry, Roar. Never thought Jack FM would ever play that. Jennifer Page, Crush. Stray Cats, Rock This Town, a kite song. Maroon 5, She Will Be Loved, radio edit. This played a little bit back in 2023, I think. Mary J. Blige, Family Affair, radio edit. I haven't heard this in ages. It used to be common when I joined Jack FM back then. I actually remember hearing When It's Over on City 99.1 back in high school. Oh, so that's probably why it's in a novel. Finger 11, One Thing. I remember hearing this past midnight one time, and it was delightful. CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival with Fortunate Son. This, I think, played at one point on Kite on its own. Train, Drive By. Prince, I Would Die For You. This is a Kite song. Plain White Tees, Hater Delilah. Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA, a Kite song. My first ever song that I listened on Kite. A Money, Think I'm in Love. Pat Benatar, Invincible. Lily Squire in the Dark. U2, With or Without You. Sammy Hager, I Can't Drive 55. Guns N' Roses, Patience. Notorious B.I.G. Hypnotized Radio Mix. Bruno Mars, Just the Way You Are. Rush, The Spirit of Radio. I actually remember hearing this quite often, and it was so delightful when I heard it. It was nice. Blink 182, Adam song. The Police, Synchronity. They misspelled synchronity. Synchronicity, sorry. This is part one. I researched it and I heard it, and that's what it is. Great, Gavin DeGraw, I Don't Want to Be. This is a common Jack FM song nowadays. The Beastie Boys, Brass Monkey. Foodie and the Blowfish, Let Her Cry. Tom Tom Club, Genius of Love. The Cars, Drive. Drive is a common song on the Kites. Or maybe not common, but it appears there surely. Daniel Powder, Bad Day. Haven't heard that in a while, I don't think. Damn Yankees, High Enough. King, Perfect. Third Eye Blind, how's it going to be? Uh, High Enough used to be, by the way. Another one, another OG that was common, not anymore. Trust by Jennifer Page was her only hit. Heard on City many times. Stray Cats Rock This Town used to play a lot on the spot. That's right, pretty common. Mr. Kyrie. I love this song actually. Anyways, Dirty Vegas, Days Go By. The Cars, Shake It Up. This plays on Kite, although lately it hasn't been detected on Kite. I'm not sure why. Billy Squire, my kind of lover. Sixpence, none the richer, kiss me. I've been hearing that everywhere that has some kind of older style radio that goes to the 90s. Pretty common. Eddie Money, Two Tickets to Paradise, that appears on Kite. Belle Biv DeVoe, Poison. Sounds like a good song. B-52's Rome, that's a Kite song right there. Spando Ballet, True, that's a Kite song as well. Uh, a little bit too powerful for me. Switchfoot, Men to Live album version. American Author's Best Day of My Life. Uh, I actually got this mixed up with a different song from Imagine Dragons. What was that song called? It's Time. That's what it was called. Def Leppard Hysteria. This is available on Kite if you request it. Blue Cantrell, Hit 'em Up Style. David Bowie, Young Americans. New Shoes, I Can't Wait. This is a shorter version. The long version plays on Kite. Red Rider Lunatic Fringe, that appeared on Vision Quest. Uh, I think it was the Eagle that was playing it at that time. Two tickets to Paradise in 2019. Drove. So we could see that in the novel, perhaps. And then Meant to Live played on 89.3 KSBJ, the Christian station, as well as on Mix 96.5. Yes. Trying to. Oh, okay. I thought it may have played at one point recently on Jack FM, but no. Anyways, Billy Joel, Only the Good Die Young. That's not one of my favorite songs, to be honest. I don't feel very comfortable. Entrance, featuring Rod Stewart, Do You Think I'm Sexy? Radio Edit. Garbage, Special Pop Mix. Keep Trick, Surrender. Sometimes Jack FM would push this song, uh, but honestly, I didn't get to hear it very much. Only rarely. Foo Fighters, Time Like These, Top 40 Edit. Not a bad song. I actually do enjoy it. Uh, what else? Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers with Breakdown. Just a second. Okay, we're back. Haven't heard Breakdown in a long time. Rio, da da da, I don't love you, do you love me? That appeared on a few Microsoft commercials back in the day. 311 down. Starship, we built this city. The short version appears on Kite. This is the long version on Jack FM. Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing, that played today on Kite. Fiona Apple, Criminal, Radio Edit. By the way, Marvin Gaye was uh, had his birthday a few days ago. I think Wednesday. I'm not too sure. The Cars, Let's Go, an occasional song on Kite. How Betty and the Heartbreakers, The Waiting. John Bon Jovi, Blaze of Glory. This might be requestable on Kite, but I'm not too certain. Anyways, Bush, Everything Zen. Brian Setzer Orchestra, John Jive in Jail. Capital City, Safe and Sound. Pretty common song, even if it's from the 2010s. Uh, Two Ticket to Paradise, as well as Blue Travels.
Travelers Run Around, among several other songs, will be used in a novel sequel. Ah, so it's a sequel. Okay. Happy belated birthday to Marvin Gaye. Exactly. Anyways, I think we might be halfway done for this after this one. Or maybe we are already halfway. Push, everything's zen. Brian sets the orchestra, jump, jump, and wail. Capital City, safe and sound. Uh, Kings of Leon, sex on fire. Kim Willed, you keep me hanging on. No doubt, Sunday morning radio edit. Uncle Cracker featuring Dobie Gray, drift away. Usually it has this on there with a slash instead of uh, this formatting. It's different, so yeah. Van Halen, Eruption slash You Really Got Me. Berlin, Take My Breath Away. I miss this song on Kite. Or Jack FM, sorry. It plays on Kite. Jack FM doesn't play this song right now. It might in the future, but not right now. Justin Timberlake Can't Stop the Feeling. Journey Separate Ways. The album version, which is 5 minutes in length. Bodine's Closer to Fee. Studio album version. Kansas, Dust in the Wind. The Killers When You Were Young. Album version. Bush, Come Down. Katy Perry, Teenage Dream. Ah, Imagine Dragons, it's time. Guns N' Roses, November Rain. Probably one of their copious amounts of edits that they made. Scorpions, Wind of Change. I haven't heard this in a while, to be honest. Neither this one. Anyways, Michael Jackson, Thriller, then the Black Crows, She Talks to Angels. Nowadays I only hear So Hard to Handle. And I think another trip to Port Lavaca should be arranged for the sequel. That's right. New Radicals, You Get What You Give, album version. Collective Soul Shine, the unedited version. Phil Phillips, Home. Def Leppard, Rocket. The near. I'm not sure. It feels like 8 minutes to me. There's for this version. Snow Patrol, Chasing Cars. That used to play pretty commonly on Jack FM, but it might not be there anymore. Peter Frampton, Baby I Love Your Way. That's a Kite song. And Rocket might be requestable on Kite. I'm not too sure. The Rolling Stones, Gimme Shelter. Snow, Informer, Edit. Imagine Dragons, Thunder. That plays on Jack FM. Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart. That's a requestable song on Kite that hasn't appeared on Jack FM in a while. Supertramp, Goodbye Stranger, a Kite song. Hall and Oates, I can't go for that. Daryl Hall and John Oates. That is a Kite song. Cass and Michelle featuring Old Dirty Bastard and Maya or Mia. Ghetto Superstar. Six, Fooling Yourself. The Police, Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic. A rare song on Kite. Soundgarden, Spoon Man. Fallout Boys, or Fallout Boy. Thanks for the memories. And Imagine Dragons, Demons. Paul McCartney and Wings, Maybe I'm Amazed. That might be the live or the recording. I'm not too sure. Neon Trees, Everybody Talks. Golden Earring, Radar Love. When McCain, I haven't heard that in a long time. Ozzy Osbourne, Flying High Again. That used to appear occasionally on Jack FM back in 2022, 23, but not anymore since then. Here Comes My Girl, that's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Stevie Nicks, Edge of 17, the full length version. Cars, Bye Bye Love. Alex Clare, Too Close. James Lade. Wilson Phillips, Hold On. Duran Duran, The Reflex. That's requestable on Kite. NSYNC, I Want You Back. Madonna Ray of Light, John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band on the Dark Side. That's a kite song as well. The Rolling Stones Under My Thumb. The Pretenders Brass and Pocket is a song. It's very common on kite. Fleetwood Mac, Gold Dust Woman. Eric Clapton, Wonderful Tonight. This appeared for a short bit on kite. I think they pulled this one out. I'm not too sure. Metallica, Nothing Else Matters, full version. Brian Adams, Somebody. Pat Benatar, Shadows in the Night. This was during a time where this song no longer appeared regularly. Uh, God bless you, Bo Riddle. How's it going? Let the Soul Shine play on the spot a few times, and I remember hearing it at Dillard's once too. You get what you give by the New Radicals is also used in a story as well. And the chorus Bye Bye Love is played occasionally on the Eagle. All right. Billy Squire. Lonely is the Night, the full length version. Eminem Berserk. Dog's Eye View, Everything Falls Apart album version. Garbage Stupid Girl. Bad Company. Bad Company. This could be requestable on kite, maybe. Hootie and the Blowfish, I Go Blind. Electric Light Orchestra, Mr. Blue Sky. Pretty common. Just pretty sought after song, but haven't heard it in a long while. Mark Morrison, and this might be requestable on kite as well. Return of the Mac. And then Christina Aguilera, Genie in a Bottle. Primitives crashed a 95 mix. Sheryl Crow strong enough. Enigma Sadness Part 1. Nelson Only Time Will Tell. London Beat No Woman No Cry. CHR version. UB40 Can't Help Falling in Love single. New Order Regret Alpha version. And Daft Punk Get Lucky. Let's see. And Bad Company plays on the Eagle quite a bit. It also played on the Arrow back in the day. Yeah, pretty popular song from the rock part of music. Oriente, According to You, Prince, Let's Go Crazy, Cake Never There, U2's Sweetest Thing. Foo Fighters, The Pretender, Young Jeezy, Vacation, Florida featuring Kesha, Right Round, Nina, 99 Luftballons. The Wanted, Glad You Came. David Guetta featuring Sia, Titanium. Florida featuring Sia, Wild Ones. Uh, The Fray, Over My Head. Bruno Mars, Treasure. Van Halen ain't talking about love. Zed featuring Fox's Clarity. Sheryl Crow of Change Would Do You Good. Daughtry waiting for Superman. Sheryl Crow, My Favorite Mistake. Cure love song. The Go Go's Head Over Heels. Everclear Wonderful. Radio edit. Lionel Richie. All Night Long. This is a song on kite. This might be requestable. Uh, Coldplay Paradise. Salute. The Goo Goo Dolls Here Is Gone. In Excess New Sensation. That is kite song. Uh, 5 for Fighting Superman, 4:46 p.m. Aerosmith, Jaded, 4:49 p.m. And Anna Nalick, Breathe, 4:53 and Sunday Morning from Maroon 5, 4:57 p.m. And that's the end of that one. And we continue normally. Faithfully song I like. Anyways, got some work from college. Yeah. After that playlist, stuff gets really wacky. Like, really wacky.
It's hard to explain, but instead of seeing these songs that have not played in a long while, we are treated to an entirely different set. Instead, it's rock, like so many different rock songs that I have never heard of. And we have to look at these um, individually because I think it's only right for that to it's only right to uh what's the word, to look at those that way. But yeah, but as far as those songs we looked at in those moments, as far as those go, we're finito. Unfortunately, I don't think that they're gonna come back anytime soon. Like, I don't like, I won't discount them entirely, but they're so far gone that it's just not very foreseeable in the near future that we're gonna see those. Uh, Trying to make sure I find the correct day. Ah, all right. Well, here's the first of these random pure-blooded rock songs. Quicksilver Messenger, Fresh Air. That appeared on at 7:58 a.m. local time on June 25th, 2024. We're gonna have to navigate through these individually. Um, so this one's tricky to track though. Also, I hope you don't mind these random things. Oh, here it is. Here's one. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, Just a Song Before I Go. 12:58 p.m. This is June 26, 2024. Right there. It's very random. The Beatles, because at 3:58 p.m. at 4:04 June 26, 2024. Uh, Steve Miller Band, Baby's Calling Me Home, June 27, 2024 at 9:58 a.m. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Uh, okay. Kid Charlemagne from Steely Dan, 4:58 p.m. at June 27th, 2024.
No. I think we missed something here. Oh well. And here. Or it could have been their commercials. Because they did air some commercials that were 3 minutes in length in the total block. Here's Eddie Money, Give Me Some Water at June 28th, 2024 at 10:58 a.m. Well, would you look at that? Chicken cordon bleu, that I mean. Jeff Beck Group, New Ways Train. Um, anyways, that's 5:58 p.m. on June 28th, 2024. Boston Party, 1:58 a.m., June 29, 2024. Mm-hmm. Something in between this we likely missed. Todd Rundgren, Black Maria, the 29th of June, 7:58 a.m. And geez, this is wild. Moody Blues Out and In, June 29, 2024, 7:58 p.m. Okay. Nothing here. Nothing here. Here we go. Moody Blues the Actor, June 30th at 4:58 p.m. Something might have been in between, I'm not sure. Let's get rocked. Blue Oyster Cult, I Love the Night at 10:58 p.m. July 1st. Yeah, that was the first Steely Dan song I've seen played anywhere in a while. Yeah, well, on Kite, they have Reeling in the Years and Do It Again. But other than that, I'm not sure what to carry. Any Todd Rundgren song is rare. Not one station here plays him. Well, when it come Happy New Year's Day, we see Bang the Drum All Day. But that's about it. Material Girl again. Everything you want. Eric Burden and the Animals, San Franciscan Nights at 1:57 a.m. July 1st, 2024. I think this was back then when it still skipped some songs it didn't have in its repertoire. Uh, the Police, Does Everyone Stare, 6:58 a.m., July 1st, 2024. Probably missed something in between. Not too sure. Okay, here's one. Paul Butterfield, blues band. Born in Chicago, July 1st, 2024 at 9:58 a.m. Uh, excuse me? Rolling Stones, Sweet Black Angel. Lyrics, content. Save Harbor. That's literally what it says. And that would be, hold on, 2:58 p.m., July 1st. And then we have Mandolin Wind Unplugged by Rod Stewart. Now that would be 12:58 p.m., July 2nd. See what else we have here. Okay. Ziggy Stardust, Suffragette City lyrics. That would be, oh, there it is. 2:58 a.m., July 3rd. Both of them bundled, just like We Will Rock and We Are the Champions are usually bundled. Hmm. Okay. Warren Zevon or Zevon? I'm not too sure. But he has a song right there. Oh, he's American. I thought he was British for some reason. Poor, poor, pitiful me. At 12:58 a.m. on July 4th, 2024. And then Santana Taboo, July 4th, 2024. 7:58 a.m. And then AFU Naturally Wired Van Halen plays, let's see, right here, 8:58 a.m., same date. And also, do we have anything on the same date? No. July 5th, then. Okay, July 5th at 2:58 a.m. Ronnie Montrose, Town Without Pity. And then Doors, Not to Touch the Earth at 8:58 a.m. July 5th. And also Busting Out for Rosie, Tommy Bolin, July 5th. That would be 1:58 p.m. They must have misspelled something because it has a music symbol instead of the proper thumbnail. Okay. Korea, or you're right. This is one of those English rock bands. I'll just call it The Heat because I can't pronounce Iria or Uriah. Heat on the rebound. 4:58 p.m. July 5th. Uh, okay. The Heat again with That's the Way That It Is at 9:58 p.m. on July 7th. And again with the Park at 10:58 p.m. the 7th, or 6th actually. Both of them are 6th. Uh, let me see. Anyway, anyhow, anywhere at 7:58 from July 8th. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, Southern Cross, 10:58 a.m., July 8th, 2024. Trans Transmaniacon MC Blue Oyster Cult at about 4:58 p.m. on July 8th. Okay. It's not listed anywhere here, so unfortunately, we're not going to find it there. You have to find really deep, or find it really deep. Okay, Rolling Stones stop breaking around, or stop breaking down, 12:58 a.m., July 9th. Spanish Caravan for the Doors, 4:58 a.m., July 9th. Mhm. Wow, that's Blood Rock DOA, 4:58 p.m., July 9th. Hmm. I know that it might seem like I'm a little tired, but if I want to cover these songs, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Robert Palmer, Hyperactive, 9:58 a.m., July 10th. That's probably what I am right now, but I don't mind, at least at this moment. Electric Light Orchestra, Rock and Roll is King, at 7:58 on July 10th. Uh, what else do you got? Aftershock from Van Halen, 9:58 p.m., July 10th. Or, yes, July 10th. Uh, After the Thrill is Gone for the Eagles, 10:58 a.m., July 11th. Uh, this is when I went to 7-Eleven at 7:11 p.m. to go get a slushie. Uh, the Tubes with White Punks on Dope, 1:58 a.m., July 12th. And uh, Alice Cooper Killer, 11:58 a.m., July 12th. Uh, we're just getting started, folks. This is going to take ages to finish. Hmm. A version of I Think I'm in Love at 5:58 a.m. may or may have not been also nationwide. July 13th. What is this? Oh, a check. Okay. Choose. Darn it. Okay, we're good. I'm just covering my footsteps, folks. Bear with me. Okay. Lemon heads. Beatles piggies. I still see some of the album covers are not correct still. Yeah, They're weird. They're either from compilations or they're misinterpreted from different artists because they have similar titles, album titles. Potentially Tom Petty Wreck Me, but I'm not too sure. I don't think so, but maybe. Invisible Touch, I don't think. Here's Janis Joplin, Cosmic Blues, out of Port Arthur, I think, or Beaumont, one of those. Texas, 9:58 a.m. Uh, July 15th. The first Janis Joplin song I've ever seen on a radio station before. Here we go. What is? Hold on, let me see what this is here. Just for privacy reasons, I'll keep it off the frame. Oh, that's just Adam. Okay. Okay. I believe the Arrow played Janis Joplin at one point. Oh, they did. Okay. Yeah, you don't see Janis Joplin very commonly. All right, you have Triumph, A World of Fantasy, 7:58 p.m. at July 15th. And then you have, hold on, nothing here. Some old friends I had, nothing. Nothing. T for one, 2:58 a.m., July 16th. Uh, Queen Sriracha, The Lady Wore Black, 7:58 a.m., July 16th. It's not really Queen Sriracha. It's Queen Squeaky or something. Queen Queen's right. Queen Sriracha. Let out here. Anyway, submit and we will go. Oh, Bob Dylan, Maggie's Farm, 7:58 a.m., July 19th. Uh, Dang. These are quite a few. Robert Plant, Pledge Pit, 3:58 p.m., July 19th. There it is. Grocery list stuff. Rush, Double Agent, July 20th at 1:58 a.m. Okay, Jimi Hendrix Experience, a pretty special one because guess what it's named? Gypsy Eyes, July 20th at 9:58 a.m. Uh, George Thorogood, I'm Wanted. That's 2:58 a.m. July 21st. Uh, nope. The Clash, Straight to Hell. That's 9:58 a.m. That's July 21st. That might have been a B-side or a single from the 1981-82 album. Let's see. 159. Summertime doesn't count. That's nationwide. nationwide played. So I'm only looking for exclusively from 98.7. All right, Rolling Stones, Just My Imagination. See where this played. And it says running away with my something, something, something. At 6:58 p.m., July 22nd. Tell all the people from the doors, 8:58 a.m., July 23rd. Alice Cooper with Halo of Flies, and that played at 10:58 p.m. Okay. I don't know. Band, The Shape I'm In, 2:58 a.m., 25th of July. There's so many more songs that are coming our way. Tacos. uh, nothing. Okay. Dead Flowers from the Rolling Stones. It played at 3:58 a.m. July 26th. Yep, it did. Just again doesn't count. Tea in the Sahara or Sahara, depending on how you pronounce it. 2:58 a.m. July 28th. And what is this? Oh, okay. Only Love Can Break Your Heart from Neil Young and Distant Early Morning. Only Love Can Break Your Heart, Neil Young, 7:58 p.m., July 28th. Same day, we have another song called Rush, Distant Early Morning at 10:58 p.m. And then the 29th, we've got Johnny Winter, Blinded by Love at 3:58 a.m. And Stray Cat Blues will follow it later on at same date again, 1:58 a.m. And also same date. Keeping on with the same date, we have something called it's a Dire Straits Money for Nothing clone. It's a clone of Money for Nothing with capital letters and maybe uncensored lyrics because they were censored because it had a certain B word there. Moody Blues, Legend of a Mind. This played on July 29th at 7:58 p.m. Uh, the Doors, Summer's Almost Gone. Um, hold on just a moment. Let me just. Okay. Sorry about that. Summer's Almost Gone. Where did I see that? Right here at 2:56 a.m. So I got to it pretty quickly. July 30th, as I said. Also keeping on the same date, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young Carry On at 7:58 a.m. Um, let's see. A Fool to Cry from the Rolling Stones, 4:58 p.m., July 31st. And Sick Things, Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper at 9:58 p.m., same date. And we go further to August 1st. Kings, sunny afternoon, 12:58 a.m. And following right along is Love Street at 12:58 p.m. And Babylon Sisters from Steely Dan, same date. Uh, that is at 3:58 p.m. Country Girl happens to play on the same date at 7:58 p.m. Country Girl, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. And we have next, let's see, Political Blues from Van Halen. That is August 2nd, 2024. Or, yeah, at 11:58 a.m. Night Shift from Foghat. That happens to play at 1:58 a.m. That's August 4th, 2024. Money for Nothing is a Common Eagle song. I used to think it was about a rich guy, but it's in fact 100% of that. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, it's really common here. Hi, I've been building Legos. I got a new set. It's called Thunder Fang, Dragon of Chaos. Welcome back, Lo Show. I'm gonna use the bathroom and just so I'll be back. Sorry, folks, I'm back. So we're back in night shift, 1:58 a.m., August 4th. And following along this same date, Rory Gallagher Country Mile, 11:58 a.m. And then Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. That's 7:58 p.m. Spirit in the Night, that's Bruce Springsteen, August 5th. After We Belong play, of course. 5:58 p.m. And then August 6th, Dave Mason, World and Changes, 3:58 a.m. What else? That's it. And then Hmm. Sledgehammer. See Emily play. That's Pink Floyd, 11:50 a.m. on August the 14th. Okay. Oh crap. Sorry, folks. Everybody's warning. Let's go crazy. Listen to the music. Let's see. Uh, Nothing. Oh, this might be the date. August 19th. Write this down. Feeling dreams played. Oh, yeah, this is the date. And somewhere in between, we missed one song right there. Uh, but the rest is, let me tell you, Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young, Deja Vu. Doors 5 to 1. That starts 6:44 a.m. August 19th. Doors 5 to 1. Who? I'm One. The Heap with Gypsy. Gypsy. Special song if you know what I'm made of. Anyways, Jimi Hendrix, Hey Baby. Steve Miller Band with Wintertime. Who? I Had Enough. Uh, Daddy Don't Live in That New York City No More from Steely Dan. Uh, Um, Cities on Flame with Rock and Roll from the Oyster Cult. Alice Cooper, yeah, yeah, yeah. Allman Brothers back, Stand Back album version. The Costello's Last Words from Paul McCartney and Wings. Stray Cat Blues from the Rolling Stones. No anchovies, please. It's supposed to be no anchovies, please. Jay Giles Band. This is a spoken song or narration, if you will. So, yeah, sorry. Sorry, I shouldn't do that, but yeah. Loss of Control from Van Halen. This is a 9 hour block, by the way. The before this was 8. The one before that 7. Moby Dick, Bring It On Home. Album version, Led Zeppelin. For Tom from Led Zeppelin. The South's Gonna Do It Again. Harley Daniels Band. Dead Babies. Alice Cooper. Strange Dreams. Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush. Uh, Going Up the Country. Woodstock Can't Heat. One of These Days album version from Pink Floyd. Black Hearted Woman, Allman Brothers Band. House of Pain from Van Halen. Dance on My Own, Robert Plant. I actually listened to this song and I loved it. Oh, oh, it's, Dance on My Own from Robert Plant. This is 12 o'clock. So we could see these songs that played 8:44, 8:40. Some of the songs that we had a Steely Dan song that didn't show up on here. That's all right. Stray Cat. I'm sorry. Well, I'll give you a bit of a time to look at this. Okay. And then, and Moby Dick and that other song that it was paired with didn't show up on here. Then Led Zeppelin, Poor Tom. And then for this one, so there you have an idea of what to see. And then this Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush, Strange Dreams, and probably another song there. And this one, one of these days, Allman Brothers Band, Black Hearted Woman, House of Pain from the Van Halen, and Robert Plant's Dance on My Own. Yeah. As you can see, it's pretty freaking wild. Fleetwood Mac also has a song called Gypsy. That's where the gypsy came from in my channel. That's where gypsy runs in my blood because of Fleetwood Mac. And no, and Kobe's. Hello. No. And Kobe's on pizza. Freaking 98.7 Jack FM. Screw that out. Thanks a lot. And Kobe's. Kobe's. Blue Oyster Cult. This is 12 o'clock hour. Stairway to the Stairs. Doors Wild Child. Alan Parsons Project. Lucifer. The Rock and Roll Machine from Triumph. And this is the list right there. And then 1 o'clock hour. Man in a Suitcase from the Police. South Band Suarez. Album version. Led Zeppelin. Any Major Dude Will Tell. Steely Dan. How Do You Sleep? John Lennon. Yeah, this is what it is. I'm a Man from the Spencer Davis Group. We Will Rock and We're the Champions from Queen, oddly enough. On Any Other Day from the Police. Although Queen's hair is common on type. Anyways, Feel It Again. Honeymoon Suites. Can't Take It With You. Alan Parsons Project, which this is the 2 hour block we saw. And then the 3 hour block is Break It Up from Foreigner, Bretton Rock from Queen, and that's it. And then 402, and then 2000 Light Years from Home also. So some of it that already played. Oh, Stairway to the Stars, Wild Child, Alan Lucifer and Rock and Roll Machine. Um, and then these have the songs. Give me just a moment. Um, So, man, a suitcase, South Van Soares, and any major league will tell. How Do You Sleep from John Lennon. Um, then the next batch is this I'm a Man. We're rocking, we're champions on any other day. Feel it again. And Can't Take It With You. And for the next block, it's Break It Up, Bretton Rock, and 2000 Light Years from Home. Here it is. Oh, Duracell plus one. How's it going? God bless you. Woman in Black from Foreigner. Alone. Heart. That is the acoustic live version. That's the 4 hour block. Um, 5 hour block is Little Miss Strange, Girl on the Moon, it's like Jenny Harnick's experience, and then Foreigner. Freedom in Point Zero, Jefferson Starship, Brooklyn with Steely Dan, and that's the 4 hour, 5 hour block, 5 p.m. Tucson, Novotel, Santana, the 6 p.m. block. Everyone's gone to the movies from Steely Dan, 6:54. That's the 6 hour block, 6 p.m. block. Maxwell Silver Hammer album version, Beatles, 6:56. Yeah. So this is an overview. Shadows in the Rain, the 7 p.m. block. Police, Shadows in the Rain, Jungle Strut from Santana, Respectable from the Rolling Stones, Desperado from Alice Cooper, Brave New World from Steve Miller Band, and Doctor Doctor from The Who. So, to recap, this is what we got: Woman in Black and Alone, acoustic. Little Miss Strange, Girl on the Moon, Freedom at Point Zero, Brooklyn, and then Tucson Luvita, Everyone's Gone to the Movies, Maxwell Silver Hammer, and Shadows in the Rain, Jungle Strut, Respectable, and Desperado, and Brave New World. And then the next mock, Police Next to You, 8 p.m. Tora Tora, Lost to Control, Van Halen, Spanish Fly, Van Halen, The Acid Queen from The Who, and The Man Who Sold the World from David Bowie. And for 9 p.m. block, Audio Slave, Coach Heist, or however the heck you pronounce that. The Who with The Punk Meets the Godfather, Crawling for the Wreckage from Dave Edmunds, and it came out of the sky from CCR. Oh, okay. Don't worry, we're almost done. Yeah. We'll just do this one and we'll call it Steve Miller Band, Blue Odyssey, Sweet Marie, 10 p.m. block. We're almost done. Minute by Minute, Doobie Brothers, and The Train Kept a Rolling, Jeff Beck, Midnight Man, James Gang, End of the Night, Doors, and Room Full of Mirrors, Jimi Hendrix Experience. And that's what it looks like. Uh, I promise, I'm almost done. Shaman's Blues Doors and Cold Turkey with lyrics, John Lennon slash the Plastic Ono Band, and Being for the benefit of Mr. Tight. Huh, Tight is in here. The Beatles. This is the 11 o'clock one. Wishful Sinful from the Doors, and Dig It for the Beatles. 11:58 p.m. Landslide Fleetwood Mac, 11:59. The original 1975 recording. Another one. This is what it looks like. Uh, that's it. Yep. So look at it next to you. Tortora, Loss of Control, Spanish Fly, Acid Queen, and The Man Who Sold the World. And Coach Eyes, or whatever the heck you pronounce that. Punk Who Meets the Godfather, and then Falling from the Wreckage. It came out of the sky. And then the next one is Minute by Minute, The Train Kept Rolling, and Midnight Gang, End of the Night. Room Full of Mirrors. Okay. And then the final one for that day is Shaman's Blues, Cold Turkey, Bean for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, Wishful Sinful, Dig It, and Landslide. And that's then what happened on August 19th. And just like that, we will wrap it up. But before we say goodbye to you, Christian, we will make one last prayer for Abdul Niazi. And for that, let's switch. No, that's not what I want. There we go. Sorry about that. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we come to you graciously gratitude to us. That's a new word I invented, but still, with gratitude that we have read of your precious scripture. Now grant us the grace that was received by your Son Jesus Christ and maintained, and he never let go of it. And let us be calm wherever needed. We pray for the life of who was lost due to uncalmness that ensued in Houston by frustration and wrath. We pray for the life of Abdul uh, Niazi. May his soul be resting in peace, and may he be accepted into heaven. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. And we all have our souls accepted into heaven. Amen. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, folks. All right, now you can cue Freebird. I'm not gonna show you other stuff, but I'm going to just peek at what's next. All right. Thank you, brother. God bless you. In the name of Jesus Christ, sleep deep, rise and shine bright. And I thank you, Christian, for being along this big journey that we are going through. Low Show, thank you for joining. John, Big Al, uh, who else? Slay Batty Queen, and that guy, TP, who was complaining about some gargling, it looks like. Eric, Quan Manstein, thank you for stopping by. Mike, thank you for joining in. Adam, I think, was here. Just Moss, how's it going? Pete X Dan, Joath, Joath, Alex, Gator, A Dehydration, Stephen Lazo, Metro, and Remy. Sleep deep, rise and shine bright. Yes. Before we go, I want to know. Please tell me, how did you feel when you saw that picture from earlier? I guess um captivating. Yeah, captivating. Definitely nostalgic. It kind of leaves you in awe in a sort of um, cute way, if that makes sense. Uh, it was amazing, and it's kind of unfortunate that we don't see. photos like this very often anymore. I have I haven't felt this adorable of a photo in a long while. God bless Chrissy wherever she may be. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. Yeah, it kind of makes me feel a little tingly, blush, if that makes sense. All right. I took that photo that day because I wanted to make sure that memory was permanently memorialized someday, some way. Oh yeah, definitely. And in what other way would it have been memorialized other than that way that you just did? Yeah, it was worth it. Um, okay, I will do some few more songs. It's not very long. It's just 2 hours. Voodoo Chile at 10:45. A very long song, like 15 minutes ish. Just like starting over. Uh, that's Jimi Hendrix Experience, by the way. And John Lennon, just like starting over. Guitar Shop, Jeff Beck, Green, Manalishi, Fleetwood Mac, Victoria Kings. That's the that was 10:45. This is the 1 p.m. block. Victoria Kings. Here Come Those Tears Again, Jackson Brown. And here's the ratings. That's 1 135, the band Ophelia, Three Dog Night Celebrate at 138. 142, John Lennon Just Like Starting Over. Jeff Beck Guitar Shop, 1:45 p.m. Fleetwood Mac Green Man Alishi, 150. Victoria from the Kings, 155. And Here Come Those Tears Again, Jackson Brown came very soon. Let's Go, I don't think counts, but it's at 58. Let's Group doesn't count. Uh, Very provocative album cover for the Cars Candio album, though I will say. And Out of Touch doesn't count, I think. And I think we're done here, folks. Yeah, we're done. It's over. Uh, that was the those songs. It was only one section, and I think that with that, that ended um a long time tradition of these weird songs that Jack FM would put at 58 of an hour, like 3:58, for example, 5:58, whatever 58. That ends a long time tradition, and yeah, it's over. Unfortunately, Jack FM had ended that at that point. So, Jack FM still plays some certain songs that may be captivating, but smokes. That's going to be very. Okay, so there's one more set that happens on December the 5th, which is uh, only six. Hold on. Let me sure I make this right. Um, it lasts all the way till 10:13, and then it ends. So yeah, I'll just preview it, and then we could cover it in the next one. So right off the bat, we have Higher Love. This is the full version of Higher Love. Earlier, we have New York Minute, 6:37 in length. One of my favorite Don Henley songs. So, what I'm afraid of is some of these songs don't show up on that playlist. So, this is what we got so far. Regularly, there's Gypsy, Fleetwood Mac Gypsy. This is a common playlist. Okay, Christian, I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna put you um, to. Okay, that sounds wrong. But I'm gonna cut you loose and let you sleep now, and go tend to your boss, to whatever may need your assistance. So, thank you, Christian, again. God bless you. Sleep deep, rise and shine bright, and go in peace.